My dad told me to choose 1 out of 10 goddesses to marry. Feng Lin held the 10 photos his father gave him, lost in thought. Among them were an aloof CEO, a gentle teacher, an international star, and even a professional assassin. His task was to marry one of them. Chapter 1, They are all my fiancés. Could you move further away from me? A beautiful woman in a baseball cap frowned in annoyance. She wore a black dress, her long, shiny black hair cascading freely. Her delicate features resembled those of a TV star. This is a train. The seats are only so big. If you feel cramped, why didn't you take a plane? The man with tousled hair beside her glanced at her as he replied. Zhu Ziying ground her teeth in frustration. She certainly didn't lack money. If it weren't for the urgency of getting home and the unavailability of flights, who would choose a train? Initially, she thought the man beside her was quite handsome, about 6 feet tall, with a face as sharp as a sword's sheath, featuring strong, defined lines. But ever since he sat down next to her, he'd taken out a stack of photos and muttered to himself, saying things like, hips too small, can't bear son's poor figure, too short. Curious, Zhu Ziying sneaked a peek and found that all the photos were of beautiful women, some even famous stars. She found herself increasingly disgusted with the man, convinced he was creepy and probably mentally unwell. Hey! What are you doing with all those photos? Since they were almost at the station, Zhu Ziying decided to check in on this oddball. Feng Lin glanced at her and casually replied, they are all engaged to me, but I can only marry one, so I'm planning to call off the rest. Pfft! Zhu Ziying burst into laughter. What nonsense was this guy spouting? Suddenly, her laughter halted as her eyes landed on someone in one of the photos. It was her close friend. The woman in the photo wore a black business suit that highlighted her perfect figure. Snatching the photo, Zhu Ziying questioned sternly, is she also engaged to you? Feng Lin glanced at the photo indifferently and nodded. Yes, but she's out of the running. Look at her face, she looks like I owe her $200. Do you know how ridiculous you sound? She's the general manager of Shu Group in Jiang City, worth millions. One spit from her suitors could drown you. Zhu Ziying's reaction was especially intense. This was her closest friend, someone she'd grown up with and even shared a dorm with abroad. She couldn't let such a shameless man insult her friend. Feng Lin's eyes lit up. You know her? HMPH. Of course I do. Caught you lying, huh? How embarrassing. She crossed her arms and scoffed disdainfully. Great. That saves me the trouble of finding her. Take me to her, and I'll end the engagement. Feng Lin eagerly grabbed Zhu Ziying's hand. Let go. I'm not taking a lunatic like you anywhere. She slapped his hand away and turned her face elsewhere. Feng Lin shrugged and went back to studying the other photos of beautiful women. The train arrived at the station. As Zhu Ziying left, she turned back and stuck her tongue out at him. Disgusting. Make sure you get your brain checked sometime. You're the one who should see a doctor. If you keep taking that medication, you're bound to have problems someday. Feng Lin, still staring at the photos, spoke calmly. Startled, Zhu Ziying glanced at him. How did he know about that? Must be been a lucky guess, she thought as she muttered to herself and followed the crowd off the train. After a moment, Feng Lin suddenly froze, then dashed after her, shouting, give my photo back. But by the time he reached the platform, she was gone. Feng Lin looked up at the sign above. This was Jiang City. He couldn't help but feel a sense of fate. He'd even attended high school here once. That woman had said that the person in the photo was at the Shu family in Jiang City. How convenient. He slipped the remaining photos back into his pocket, ready to call off the engagement. Feng Lin's father was a doctor who had saved many lives in his youth. He had a habit of arranging engagements for Feng Lin with any beautiful young girls he came across. Half a month ago, his father had called, saying he didn't have much time left. Alarmed, Feng Lin had rushed back from abroad, only to find out his father had been faking it. His father had handed him a bunch of photos and told him to pick a wife, saying he was eager to have a grandchild. Feng Lin knew what his father meant. It was his way of helping him move past his old shadows. He himself thought it was time to settle down. Sigh. Time to get to work. Let us head to the Shu family estate, Feng Lin murmured as he left the station. The East District was the villa area of Jiang City, home to the city's wealthiest residents. At the Shu family estate, Zhu Ziying sat at a stone table on the lawn, facing two people. One was a well-maintained woman with a curvy figure and styled hair. The other was none other than the woman in Feng Lin's photo, Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying had her hair in a single ponytail, showcasing her exquisitely cold and beautiful face, the epitome of a powerful woman. Her stunning figure was impossible to ignore. Even Zhu Ziying, herself a beauty, appeared slightly overshadowed in her presence. Ruoying, everything I just told you is true. Here's the photo I took from him. Zhu Ziying placed the photo on the table with a grin. A toad lusting after a swan, how could my daughter be suited for such a man? The woman beside her sneered. This was Xu Ruoying's mother, Wang Qin. Mom, there's no need to be upset. This photo was obviously downloaded online. Xu Ruoying shook her head slightly, unfazed. She'd encountered men like this before, out of sight, out of mind. Har har, he even had photos of celebrities, claiming they were his fiancés too, Zhu Ziying joked. Wang Qin laughed as well. Initially, she thought her daughter was the only one in the photo, but now she knew there were more. It was laughable, a man living in fantasy could never deserve her daughter. Besides, Wang Qin already had someone in mind as a future husband for Xu Ruoying. At that moment, a tall, square-faced man approached them. Uncle. Zhu Ziying greeted him with a smile. The man, Xu Chuan, was Xu Ruoying's father. Ziying, you're here? Xu Chuan smiled as he approached. What are you all chatting about, laughing so happily? Ziying met a creepy guy on the train today. He was holding a photo of our daughter, claiming he was her fiancé, Wang Qin said, holding up the photo on the table for Xu Chuan to see. But Xu Chuan didn't laugh. His face turned serious. Actually, Ruoying does have a fiancé. What? The three women froze, staring at each other in shock, as if the air around them had stilled. Then Zhu Ziying burst out laughing. Uncle, I didn't know you could joke like this. Wang Qin and Xu Ruoying both sighed in relief, with Wang Qin rolling her eyes and scolding him playfully, don't scare me like that. I'm not joking. The engagement was arranged by my father years ago, and the man's name seems to be Feng Lin. With that, Xu Chuan headed toward the distant villa. I think there's a photo of him in one of the albums. I'll go look. As they watched him walk away, Zhu Ziying asked in a low voice, could that man really be him? It's definitely fake, probably a photo downloaded from the internet. Otherwise, why would he have a celebrity among them? Xu Ruoying waved dismissively, unconcerned. True. He did have a whole stack of them, Zhu Ziying nodded in agreement. Just then, a security guard approached them, respectfully standing at a distance. Madam, miss, someone has requested to see you. Who is it? Wang Qin asked, taking a sip of her tea. He says his name is Feng Lin, and that he is Miss Xu Ruoying's fiancé, the guard answered with his head bowed. Crash. The teacup in Wang Qin's hand shattered against the stone table. Chapter 2, I'm here to break off the engagement. Feng Lin? Xu Chuan had just mentioned that the man's name was Feng Lin. Xu Ruoying's face turned pale. In this day and age, she couldn't accept an arranged fiancé suddenly showing up out of nowhere. Ying, what was the name of that man you ran into? Xu Ruoying asked hurriedly. I don't know. I thought he was crazy and only dared to speak to him as we were nearing the station, Zhu Ziying replied, a bit dazed. Could it really be him? Let him in. Wang Qin stood up and instructed the security guard. Yes. The guard quickly jogged off. Feng Lin paced outside the gate, and soon the guard came to fetch him. Sir, please come in. Thank you. Feng Lin waved politely and walked into the estate, soon spotting three women waiting for him in the distance. Raising an eyebrow, he noticed Zhu Ziying from the train. So, they really did know each other. It's him? Zhu Ziying pointed at Feng Lin. Wang Qin's face darkened as she sized him up. Feng Lin wore cheap, casual clothes with no sense of style. His only redeeming feature was his looks, but good looks alone couldn't support a family, especially one like theirs. Wang Qin had already decided on a husband for her daughter, a young man from the Song family, one of Jiang City's elite families. Plus, Xu Ruoying and young Master Song had mutual feelings for each other. Are you Feng Lin? Wang Qin asked sternly. Yes, I'm Xu Ruoying's fiancé. I'm here today too. Don't speak. Answer only when I ask a question. Wang Qin interrupted. What do you do for work? Work? Feng Lin shook his head. I don't have a job at the moment. No job? Then what does your family do? Wang Qin knew that some wealthy young men didn't work because they had family money. My father is a doctor, Feng Lin replied after a pause. Does your family own a hospital? No, just a clinic. Hearing this, Wang Qin was astounded by his audacity. No background, no job, and from a family that owned only a small clinic barely enough to make a couple thousand yuan a month. Yet, he had the nerve to come discuss marriage with her precious daughter. Get out. Look at yourself. Do you think my daughter will marry you and live in hardship? Wang Qin snapped. Enough. Xu Chuan approached quickly from afar, holding a photo. He carefully compared it to Feng Lin, and indeed, it looked like him, though the picture was of a much younger Feng Lin, around 10 years old. Honey, this man has no money, no power, and no job. You won't let our daughter jump into such a pit, would you? Wang Qin gripped Xu Chuan's arm and glared at Feng Lin. Stop talking. Xu Chuan took a deep breath and looked at Feng Lin. My father specifically arranged this engagement on his deathbed, and I swore to uphold it. Hearing this, Xu Ruoying's eyes reddened. She felt as if she had been sold off. Zhu Ziying, beside her, was equally bewildered. Feng Lin, my daughter cannot live a life of hardship. If you wish to marry her, you must join our family, and the children will take the Xu surname, Xu Chuan said to Feng Lin. No. I don't agree. Wang Qin growled. Our daughter belongs with young Master Song. Marrying into the Song family is her best future. Excuse me, can I say something? Feng Lin took 2 steps forward and looked at the people in front of him. I think there has been a misunderstanding. I'm not here to marry, I'm here to break off the engagement. What? Break off the engagement? Everyone looked at him in shock, momentarily speechless. Even the security guard nearby seemed confused. They all knew Xu Ruoying was beautiful, capable, and disciplined, someone who had never dated. How could he pass up this chance? Marrying into the Xu family meant a lifetime without financial worries. I'm not interested in Miss Xu and have no desire to marry her, Feng Lin said, noticing Wang Qin's disdainful expression. If there is nothing else, I'll be on my way. I have a few other engagements to call off. With that, Feng Lin turned to leave. Stop. Xu Chuan grabbed Feng Lin by the shoulder. Feng Lin, I agreed to this marriage, but you'll have to join our family. Wang Qin shouted in anger, Xu Chuan. We cannot afford to offend the Song family. That is enough. This is a new era. None of you have the right to decide who I marry. Xu Ruoying finally burst out. She grabbed Zhu Ziying's hand and walked away. It seems your daughter doesn't want to marry me either. Feng Lin chuckled, shrugged off Xu Chuan's hand, and walked away humming a tune. Leaving the East District, Feng Lin walked along the roadside, occasionally glancing at photos in his hands, pondering over which one to choose. He sighed, muttering, such lousy stalking tactics. He noticed a small alleyway to the side and slipped into it. Behind him was a white BMW, driven by none other than Zhu Ziying with Xu Ruoying in the passenger seat. Did he realize we were following him? Zhu Ziying looked at the alley, too narrow for the car. Forget it, let us not bother with him. Xu Ruoying massaged her temples, as though exhausted. After all, he had broken off the engagement, and she didn't want any further connection to him. Look, Ruoying. It's Song Kemen. Zhu Ziying pointed toward the hotel entrance nearby, cracking the window slightly. In the distance, an elegantly dressed, slender man in a suit emerged from the hotel with a woman with brown-dyed hair on his arm. Xu Ruoying's pupils contracted, her breathing quickened, and she clenched her fists tightly. Song, you're incredible, the woman cooed. The two had stopped beside the car, and Xu Ruoying could hear every word clearly. Bring your girlfriends over sometime so we can all have fun, Song Kemen said with a smirk. They've been complaining that since you met Xu Ruoying, you've been ignoring them, the woman said playfully, tapping his chest. I just like the thrill of the chase. Once I catch her, I'll lose interest. Song Kemen tilted her chin up with a smile. But I'll always like you girls, you're more skilled. Listening, Xu Ruoying's scalp prickled, feeling as though her head was about to explode. She was crazy to have ever been interested in such a man. Damn it. Zhu Ziying started to get out of the car to confront him. But Xu Ruoying grabbed her arm tightly, steadying herself and whispering, "Don't. Take me home." Ruoying Zhu Ziyin looked at her friend's tear-filled eyes. Finally, she nodded. At her family's villa, Xu Ruoying got out of the car and waved to Zhu Ziyin. "Ingyin, go home. I'll call you when I'm ready to hang out." Zhu Ziyin managed a small smile. She knew that Xu Ruoying had feelings for Song Kemen, but being traditional, she would never reveal them before confirming a relationship. Seeing Song Kemen's true nature was a blessing. Falling into his trap would have been disastrous. Dazed, Xu Ruoying entered the villa. Inside, Xu Chuan and Wang Qin were still discussing Feng Lin, both with sour expressions, clearly after an argument. "I have an announcement." Xu Ruoying looked at her parents calmly. "I am going to marry Feng Lin." Chapter 3, You're Not My Type. Feng Lin walked along the riverside path, heading to buy a train ticket, when he suddenly sneezed. Rubbing his nose, he glanced at the willow tree in the distance. Underneath it, a middle-aged man with slicked back, graying hair was practicing martial arts with powerful moves. Next to him stood a tall man in a suit, looking extremely strong and clearly experienced in fighting. Feng Lin watched for a moment, shaking his head lightly. Although the older man had reached the level of internal force, his body injuries meant he could never progress further. Feng Lin wasn't the type to offer guidance to strangers, so he walked past without saying anything. But Zhu Qian, the man practicing, noticed Feng Lin's head shake. He assumed this young man was about to offer advice, showing off what little knowledge he might have. To his surprise, Feng Lin said nothing, piquing Zhu Qian's curiosity even more. "Young man," Zhu Qian called out, pulling a towel off his neck to wipe his sweat and stepping in front of Feng Lin. "What's the matter?" Feng Lin replied calmly. "I couldn't help but notice you shaking your head earlier." "What did you mean by that?" "I'm open to learning from others," Zhu Qian said with a smile. "I just thought it was a pity. You have some talent, but with the injuries and age working against you, this is likely as far as you'll go," Feng Lin replied evenly, casting a glance at him before continuing on. Zhu Qian's face turned pale. His injuries had been with him for over 20 years, a secret known only to his family. How could this young man know? "Wait a moment, sir." Zhu Qian quickly changed his form of address from young man to sir and stopped him again. "What is it now?" Feng Lin stopped. "My name is Zhu Qian." "May I know your name?" Zhu Qian's tone was now respectful. "My name is Feng Lin, but there's no need to be so polite. Healing your injuries would be difficult," Feng Lin said, grabbing Zhu Qian's wrist. The tall man behind Feng Lin thought he was trying to attack Zhu Qian, so he leaped forward like a tiger to strike Feng Lin. However, Feng Lin dodged the attack effortlessly without even looking, pressing his hand lightly against the man's chest. Boom! The man's eyes widened as his body trembled violently, and he flew backward, landing in the nearby river with a huge splash. Feng Lin had never even looked his way. Energy transformation. Zhu Qian's voice trembled, his mind overwhelmed. Since when had Jiang City had someone like this? In martial arts, true mastery began with the transformation from external strength to internal force, and Zhu Qian himself was in the late stage of internal force. With this strength, he had built the Zhu family into one of the 4 big families in Jiang City. But this man was clearly beyond the internal force stage, having achieved transformation, the ability to make invisible energy take form. "Apologize to your man for me." "That was just a reflex," Feng Lin said, releasing Zhu Qian's wrist. "As for your injury, it's up to you whether or not you want to treat it, but even if you recover, further progress would be very difficult. Sir, if you don't mind, would you like to come to my home for a visit?" Zhu Qian bowed with respect. "No need. I came here just to cancel an engagement, and now that I've done that, I'm heading back," Feng Lin said casually, hands in his pockets as he walked away. "Cancel an engagement?" Zhu Qian murmured, then turned to the river. "Xiaozhong, are you all right?" "I'm fine," replied the burly man as he climbed out of the water. With his hands in his pockets, Feng Lin walked along the river path and left the eastern district. He soon arrived in the bustling downtown area of Jiang City. Looking around, he felt a sense of familiarity. He attended high school here for 3 years, though he had never set foot in the villa district where the wealthy lived. But he knew the other parts of the city well. "Are you Feng Lin?" Suddenly, someone blocked his way. Feng Lin stared at the man in front of him, sensing a vague familiarity but not immediately recognizing him. Did you forget? I'm Guodong, your high school classmate, the man said with a smile, pointing at himself. Oh. So it's you, Feng Lin said, realizing. Back in high school, Guodong was the class chatterbox, always sociable. He'd been quite thin back then but seemed to have gained weight since. Har har. So you're working in Jiang City too? I had no idea. We should get together with some old classmates sometime, Guodong said enthusiastically, giving Feng Lin a quick hug. After their hug, the petite woman beside Guodong immediately adjusted his suit. She glanced at Feng Lin with undisguised disdain, as if to say he was unworthy of interacting with Guodong. This is my girlfriend, Chen Jing, Guodong introduced with a smile. Chen Jing wore an impatient expression, glancing frequently at her watch. Let us go already. A classmate is nowhere near as important as Mr. Li, she said, clearly uninterested. Feng Lin merely waved his hand casually. Go ahead if you're busy. All right, let us exchange numbers. Come on, let us go. Chen Jing interrupted, grabbing Guodong's arm and pulling him away before he could get his phone out. Yes, my classmate, what are you doing? Guodong whispered. Classmates come in rich and poor. Look at the way he is dressed. Best to keep your distance, or he might end up asking you for money, Chen Jing replied, just as a Mercedes S-Class drove past them, a car worth over $1,000,000. She couldn't help but stare enviously. Owning such a car was something she thought she'd never achieve. Suddenly, her eyes widened in shock as the Mercedes came to a stop in front of Feng Lin. Initially, she thought the driver was just asking for directions, but then a tall, beautiful woman got out, wrapped her arms around Feng Lin to stop him from leaving, and tried to get him into the car. Chen Jing was stunned. Their body language clearly showed they knew each other well. Quick! Get his number. Now! Even Chen Jing, no matter how slow, realized what was happening. Was a regular person on such good terms with a woman who drove a car worth millions? Guodong stood frozen, and by the time he snapped out of it, the car had already driven away. You're useless. Didn't I tell you to hurry? Chen Jing shouted, pushing Guodong hard. How can you blame me? Who was it just now looking down on him? Guodong retorted with a low growl. The way you treated him, I'd be lucky if he doesn't hold a grudge against me. Chen Jing sighed deeply, regret filling her. A man like that could probably help them find great jobs with a single word. She wished she could slap herself. Meanwhile, sitting in the passenger seat, Feng Lin looked helplessly at Xu Ruoying. What are you trying to do? Earlier, she had even threatened to declare he'd fathered her child if he didn't get in the car, claiming he was a deadbeat dad. Feng Lin, a decent guy, didn't want people thinking that about him. I want to marry you. Xu Ruoying looked straight ahead, her face expressionless. Feng Lin's face suddenly grew serious. Are you really pregnant and trying to make me the dad? I've never even had a boyfriend. All my firsts are still intact. Xu Ruoying stopped the car on the shoulder of a road on the outskirts of the city, turning to Feng Lin. I want to marry you. Feng Lin was at a loss. Didn't I already tell you? You're not my type. What is your type? Xu Ruoying asked. I like, Feng Lin gestured with his hands, you know, the kind that is really big. I'm an E, Xu Ruoying replied with a blank expression. Feng Lin stole a quick glance. You meet the looks requirement, but your personality doesn't fit. I prefer gentle older women. You're not a man if you don't dare marry a woman like me, Xu Ruoying said, looking at her phone, which had started to vibrate. She pressed the speaker button. Xiao Ying, what is going on with you? Feng Lin is a total loser. Have you lost your mind? Came Wang Qin's voice from the other end of the line. You're the one who is a loser. Feng Lin couldn't hold back anymore. He'd already called off the engagement, and she still had the nerve to insult him. Chapter 4, I'm sticking with you. On the other end of the line, Wang Qin paused for a moment before roaring like an angry lion, Feng Lin. Get over here right now. Mom, I'm hanging up. I'll come see you later. Xu Ruoying ended the call and looked calmly at Feng Lin, as if waiting for him to speak. I suggest you think this over. You and your family must be going through a rough patch. If you marry me in a fit of anger, you'll be the one regretting it. Feng Lin leaned back against the seat, hands behind his head, glancing at Xu Ruoying. As I expected, you're a good person. Unexpectedly, the usually icy Xu Ruoying revealed a barely noticeable smile. But Feng Lin noticed her smile was beautiful, captivating. Xu Ruoying took a deep breath and said calmly, I know you're insecure. Feng Lin was speechless. Where did she get the idea that he was insecure? In all his life, this was the first time someone had described him that way. You think you're not worthy of me, so you prepared fake photos and claimed to have lots of fiancés so you could break off the engagement without losing face, right? Xu Ruoying mimicked his posture, leaning back with her hands behind her head, talking to herself. Feng Lin was surprised. So that's what she thought. You're not saying anything, so that means I'm right, doesn't he it? Xu Ruoying had learned about Song Keming's character, and it made her think a lot on her way back. Feng Lin might be poor, but he was honest. He understood the importance of social compatibility. Knowing he wasn't a good match, he chose to end the engagement. What kind of man would do that? The Xu family wasn't one of the biggest, but they did have assets in the billions. Not to mention, she wasn't unattractive. Wealth and a beautiful wife wasn't that many men's dream. But Feng Lin could calmly turn that down. In some ways, a man like that was rare and hard to come by. He was honest and fairly good looking. She could manage him well if they got married in the future. Look, you have quite the imagination, but all those fiancés of mine are real, Feng Lin said, opening the door, ready to leave. He still had other engagements to cancel. Xu Ruoying had guessed one thing correctly, Feng Lin was an honest guy. He was afraid some women in the photos might be too devoted, and upon learning they had a fiancé, might choose to remain unmarried. He didn't want to waste their prime years. Stop. Xu Ruoying wrapped her arms around his, staring fiercely. I'm sticking with you. If you refuse to marry me, I'll follow you wherever you go. Feng Lin could clearly feel the warmth from her arms on his. But he reached for her wrists, intending to push her away. Just then, his expression changed. What's wrong? Xu Ruoying noticed something was off in his face. Feng Lin closed the door again, his face calm as he asked, Did someone bite you on the butt when you were little? How did you? So it was you, you jerk. Xu Ruoying's face turned bright red as she started hitting and pinching him. This memory had been buried deep in her heart. But back then, she was only 6 or 7, and her memory was vague. She only remembered her grandfather taking her to a village to see a doctor. The doctor had a son her age, and somehow, they ended up in a fight. She ended up pinned to the ground and got bitten hard. She cried so hard afterward that no one could console her. Earlier, Feng Lin had mentioned that his father was a doctor, which explained everything. Their childhood engagement must have been arranged back then. Stop messing around. Let me ask you something. Feng Lin frowned, his voice serious. Do you know where my mom went? The reason he was so shocked was because, back when his father was treating Xu Ruoying, his mother had suddenly vanished without a trace. His father had taken him all over the country searching for her, but after 10 years, they still hadn't found her. Xu Ruoying looked at Feng Lin's face and recalled a bit more. She remembered being consoled by a beautiful woman when she cried after the bite, and that woman had later been taken away. Do you want to know? Xu Ruoying's beautiful eyes narrowed. Feng Lin nodded. Agree to one thing, and I'll tell you. Xu Ruoying restarted the car and drove away. Feng Lin hadn't expected that while trying to end an engagement, he'd also find a clue to his mother's whereabouts. And Xu Ruoying, of all people, had witnessed something. It was fate. Xu Ruoying's condition was simple, she wanted them to register their marriage, but it would be a fake one, which could be annulled in the future. Feng Lin didn't mind when they divorced, he could easily erase the record, making it look as if she'd never been married. He rested his chin on his hand, observing Xu Ruoying closely. Who'd have thought that the tomboy he'd known could turn out so beautiful? Look at me again, and I'll gouge your eyes out. She snapped, her expression frosty. But somehow, she felt an odd sense of satisfaction. The little boy who once bullied her was now in her hands, and she was going to give him a taste of his own medicine. The two of them headed to the civil affairs office, and in no time, the marriage registration was done. Sitting back in the car, each held a little red marriage certificate in hand. Xu Ruoying drove them to the Xu family's villa. Inside, Wang Qin and Xu Chuan were still arguing over Feng Lin's matter, but Wang Qin had the upper hand, forcing Xu Chuan to relent. The Song family was one of the 4 big families in Jiang City, after all, and they didn't dare provoke them. Xu Chuan intended to give Feng Lin some money to go home and marry some random girl, making up for things in a small way. Just then, the villa doors opened, and Xu Ruoying entered, holding Feng Lin's hand. "You brat! Let go of my daughter!" Wang Qin's fury rose upon seeing their clasped hands. "Mom, we're officially married, so stop insulting my husband." Xu Ruoying took out her certificate, the words marriage certificate clearly visible. Wang Qin's eyes bulged, and she pointed at her daughter, her hand trembling. You're going to be the death of me. That's enough." Xu Chuan frowned, lighting a cigarette and taking a long drag. "Feng Lin, didn't you want to cancel the engagement? What's all this about?" Feng Lin glanced at Xu Ruoying and grinned. "I changed my mind. Why shouldn't I marry a rich woman? Now I can live without ever having to work. You brat. Keep dreaming." Wang Qin shrieked in anger. Xu Chuan exhaled a cloud of smoke. "As I recall, you're from a village. I'll give you 2 million yuan. That'll be enough to live comfortably back home for the rest of your life. Now, leave my daughter alone." Xu Ruoying held Feng Lin's hand tightly, afraid he might be tempted by the money. As her father had said, Feng Lin's family was indeed poor. She remembered when she went to his village with her grandfather. Other villagers had brick houses, but Feng Lin's family still lived in an old mud house. In the village, 30,000 yuan could get you a beautiful wife. You could buy an entry-level BMW or Mercedes for just over 30,000. Another 30,000 could build a big house, and you'd still have 100,000 left for retirement. She genuinely feared he might agree. "Har har. Is Xiao Ying home?" "It's me, Xiao Ming." Suddenly, a man's voice echoed from outside. Wang Qin shot Feng Lin a smug smile, then ran to open the door, beaming. "Young Master Song, you're here. Please, come in." Chapter 5, Frozen Funds. The man standing outside was Song Keming, carrying a beautifully wrapped gift box. He nodded politely to Wang Qin, saying, "No need to be so formal, auntie. Just call me Xiao Song." "All right, please come in." Wang Qin's attitude toward Song Keming was a stark contrast to how she treated Feng Lin, with her expression full of flattery. As Song Keming stepped into the villa, he noticed Xu Ruoying holding hands with another man. His face darkened momentarily, but he quickly masked it with a smile, placing the gift box in front of Xu Chuan. "Uncle, this is some high-grade Biluochun tea that my family just received. I remember you enjoy tea, so I brought some over. You're too kind. Please, have a seat." Xu Chuan nodded approvingly. In his mind, the difference between Feng Lin and Song Keming was like night and day. "And who is this, a family friend, perhaps?" Song Keming asked with a seemingly polite smile, his eyes landing on Feng Lin. Wang Qin hurried over to sit beside Song Keming. "Xiao Song, this man is. He is my husband." Xu Ruoying said coldly, cutting her off. Realizing she couldn't hide it anymore, Wang Qin quickly explained, "Don't take it seriously, young Master Song. This man was once betrothed to Ruoying as a joke by her grandfather. Who would ve thought he'd take it seriously? HMPH. But we're already married," Xu Ruoying replied, holding up their marriage certificate. Seeing Song Keming now, she felt nothing but disgust. Song Keming's expression finally turned icy. "Ruoying, what has gotten into you? Have I done something wrong? You dare ask that?" Xu Ruoying scoffed, squeezing Feng Lin's hand. "We're leaving." "Outrageous." Xu Chuan slapped the coffee table in anger. "Xu Ruoying, if you walk out of this house, don't ever come back." But Xu Ruoying didn't hesitate. She held Feng Lin's hand tightly as they strode out of the house. Song Keming's face twisted in a sinister expression. After all the trouble he went through, how could he let someone else swoop in? "Young Master Song, please don't be angry. Without our consent, that boy wouldn't dare do anything rash," Wang Qin quickly reassured him, worried about offending him. "Auntie, I'm not angry. However, the recent $3 billion order was meant as a wedding gift for my family. I hope you know how to handle this." Song Keming's words were clear enough. The Xu family's assets may be over 10 billion, but this order alone could increase their worth by 30%. Yet if the Song family gave them this order, they could just as easily take it away. The Song family controlled half of the material supplies in Jiang City. If they stopped selling to the Shu family, the consequences would be disastrous. Rest assured, young Master Song, we know what to do, Xu Chuan replied gravely, realizing that they could not afford to offend the Song family. Outside, Xu Ruoying held Feng Lin's hand tightly as they left the Shu home. Along the way, a message notification popped up on her phone. When she checked it, her face turned cold. "What's wrong?" Feng Lin asked, noticing her change in expression. "All my bank accounts have been frozen. I can't even access my mobile banking," Xu Ruoying replied, opening her black wallet. "I only have a little over 200 yuan left on me." "No worries, I've got money," Feng Lin said, pulling out a handful of crumpled bills from his pocket. There were coins worth 50 cents, some 1 yuan notes, and 3 10-yuan bills. Xu Ruoying couldn't help but laugh at the sight. She was surprised at how being around Feng Lin made her laugh so easily. "Regretting it now? Regretting not taking the 2 million earlier?" she teased. "A little," Feng Lin admitted. "HMPH. I misjudged you." Xu Ruoying huffed, pouting slightly and striding forward. Feng Lin chuckled and followed. "So where to now?" "I don't know. I guess my villa is off limits now," she said, glancing back at him. "With the Xu and Song families interfering, I won't be able to find work in Jiang City." "So, does that mean you're relying on me now?" Feng Lin teased, raising an eyebrow. Xu Ruoying glared at him. "What? You're unwilling? I just hope you can handle the hardship. Old Ganma chili sauce with steamed buns, is that okay with you?" "I can handle it," Xu Ruoying nodded. "Good. My father has a place in Jiang City. Let us head there. If you consider me part of your life, tell me what happened," Feng Lin said, hailing a taxi. But Xu Ruoying stopped him, waving the driver away with a smile. "At a time like this, why are you still taking a taxi?" Feng Lin grinned without a word, and they boarded a bus to the city's old residential area. Along the way, Xu Ruoying recounted everything that had happened that day. They reached the city's inner district, where the houses shared a communal courtyard like a neighborhood compound. The yard was well maintained, with small vegetable gardens growing green produce. The house they were going to was on the left, its walls weathered and aged. Feng Lin counted the bricks on the wall and stopped at the 19th row. He pulled out a brick, revealing a hidden key. "Not bad, Feng Lin." Xu Ruoying laughed in surprise. In a neighborhood like this, if it were ever redeveloped, Feng Lin could receive a considerable amount of compensation. "Who's there?" A voice from the house across the yard interrupted them. A man with a shaved head and a machete emerged. Feng Lin quickly replaced the brick and turned to face the man. "Who are you?" Feng Lin asked, hands in his pockets, as he walked toward him. The man didn't even look at Feng Lin, his gaze fixed instead on Xu Ruoying. Her figure, her face, she was far more beautiful than any star on television. "Kid, mind your own business, or I'll make sure you regret it." The man brandished his machete, threatening Feng Lin. Without a word, Feng Lin kicked him hard in the stomach. Bang! The man flew backward, crashing through the door behind him. Feng Lin entered the house and saw 7 or 8 men inside, and a middle-aged woman kneeling on the ground, her face streaked with tears and blood at the corner of her mouth. Feng Lin recognized her immediately. An Tang, his father's former neighbor. Chapter 6, Lady Luck. Feng Lin remembered it very clearly. When he was in high school here, his father was a neighbor of this woman. However, Feng Lin is a boarding student and has to go out on missions from time to time, so he does not come here very often. Xu Ruoying followed closely behind Feng Lin. Seeing everyone in the room looking ferocious, she was a little at a loss. This Feng Lin, he took action in such a hurry. At least we should first see how many people there are on the other side. Brothers, get to work. Inside the house, a round-faced sturdy man in a vest found that his younger brother was kicked over, and a trace of indifference flashed in his eyes. Feng Lin grabbed Xu Ruoying's hand and quickly stepped back. Fighting here could easily damage their furniture. Noticing Feng Lin retreating, several people quickly followed him. 2 of them blocked the gate and trapped Feng Lin in the yard. The remaining few people walked out calmly. The leader was the round-faced burly man from before. He had a face full of flesh, was not tall, but was very strong. "Do you know who I am?" How dare you attack my people? Feng Lin smiled and said, are you mentally retarded? If you don't tell me your name, who would know who you are? Damn it. Xu Ruoying next to him was speechless and wanted to hit him with a stick. Is Feng Lin a fool? At this time, you are still angering them. Brother Wolf's eyes were not on Feng Lin, but on Xu Ruoying. Finally, I came to the conclusion in 2 words, it's awesome. At the same time, Tang Hong, who was in the room, walked out holding onto the wall and asked uncertainly, are you Feng Lin? Auntie, long time no see. Feng Lin greeted her with a smile. Tang Hong's face turned pale. She came to Brother Wolf and begged with her head down, Brother Wolf, this is between you and me. Can you let them go? Brother Wolf grabbed Tang Hong by the collar, his face grim, who do you think you are? Are you teaching me how to do things? Seeing this, Xu Ruoying shouted coldly, what are you doing? Let her go, I'm calling the police. Brother Wolf was not afraid at all, go ahead and report it. His husband gambled and owed me 300,000. He drove drunk a month ago and drowned in the river. I'm here to collect the money. It's just 300,000. Xu Ruoying was talking when she suddenly fell silent. She only had more than 200 yuan on her. I can't even take care of myself, let alone help others. Feng Lin frowned slightly. He did remember that Tang Hong had an immoral husband. Since they owe me 300,000, I might as well teach them a lesson. After that, they will definitely come again. Even getting worse. He wants to solve this problem at the source. Har har har. Feng Lin suddenly laughed, Brother Wolf, do you mean there is a casino here? Do you like to play too? Brother Wolf asked with narrowed eyes. Feng Lin rubbed his hands and said, I want to play a few rounds when I'm bored. Can Brother Wolf take me with you? No. We are not done yet. Brother Wolf pointed at Tang Hong next to him. Simple, I'll pay for the money she owes you. Feng Lin hugged Xu Ruoying's waist and said with a faint smile, Secretary, take out my wallet. Xu Ruoying was so angry that her teeth were itching, but in this situation, she decided to listen to Feng Lin. She pulled out her black wallet and pulled out a platinum card. Feng Lin took the card and asked with a smile, have you seen it before? If you don't have millions of dollars in assets, you are not eligible to apply. Brother Wolf touched his chin. He had indeed seen this kind of platinum card before. It seems that the man in front of me is a rich second generation. This is perfect. He has plenty of money anyway. If he wins for 5 million, he can achieve financial freedom sooner. Go to a small city and enjoy a peaceful life. Okay. Brothers. Take Tang Hong with you. Brother Wolf waved his hand and led the way. Xu Ruoying secretly pinched Feng Lin's waist and whispered, are you stupid? 9 times out of 10, you lose when you gamble. Look at his smile. There must be something wrong. Tang Hong also followed and grabbed Feng Lin's arm, tears streaming down her face. Feng Lin, this matter has nothing to do with you, you'd better run away. Don't worry, my luck has always been good. Feng Lin said with a smile. This is the urban village in Jiang City. The area was actually not very large. After passing a few small paths, they came to an abandoned factory. When we walked into the factory, we found 5 gambling tables that were converted from billiard tables. Every table was full of people. Most of their eyes were bloodshot, obviously they were drunk. Brother Wolf is back. Fuck. Brother Wolf brought back a fairy. Everyone here looked over and was instantly attracted by Xu Ruoying's appearance. Many people rubbed their eyes, thinking that her figure was too domineering. Move aside, we have a boss here today, please free up a table. Brother Wolf came to the gambling table in the middle and sat in the dealer's seat. Hearing that there was a big shot, everyone around gathered around to see what was going on. Brother, you are the guest, tell me, what are you playing? Brother Wolf pointed to several games on the table. Feng Lin pulled Xu Ruoying and asked her to sit on his lap. Come here, goddess of luck. Seeing this scene, everyone around was envious. Xu Ruoying's face suddenly turned red. This bastard did it on purpose. He knew that under the current circumstances, he would definitely not turn against him, and could only take revenge later. Let's play dice. It's simple and easy to remember. Just compare the size. Feng Lin pointed at the dice next to him. He learned this game from his father when he was 7 or 8 years old. He can flip it according to different shaking methods and control it precisely to any point. Okay, I like this kind of brainless thing. What Brother Wolf said is true, the dice roll very fast. If you play Mahjong, even if you bet 10,000 per game, you don't know how long it will take to win millions. Of course, there is another important point about dice: you can cheat. Take $100 first and test the waters. Feng Lin said to Xu Ruoying. Although Xu Ruoying was not very willing, she still took out 100 yuan from her wallet and put it on the table. 3 dice, it'll be easier to get a leopard this way. Feng Lin put $100 in the middle of the table. 1 dice will determine the winner. Okay. Let's get started. Brother Wolf lit a cigarette and gave Feng Lin 3 cigarettes and a bamboo tube. It's the same on his side. People all gathered around, and the young man tried the waters with 100 first, and there would definitely be bigger ones later. Feng Lin shook it vigorously more than 10 times and put it on the table. Brother Wolf did the same, took a puff of his cigarette, and said with a smile, "I'll open it first." Picking up the bamboo tube, his points were 2, 2, 3. That adds up to 7. This is his usual practice. He never cheats in the first game. He lets the opponent win first and then starts the fight. It's only 7 o'clock. Brother Wolf has bad luck today. Yeah. But $100 isn't a lot of money. The people watching from all sides looked towards Feng Lin. "Goddess of luck, you open it," Feng Lin said to Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying didn't know why, but she was very nervous even though it was only 100 yuan. She exhaled deeply and picked up the bamboo tube. 1, 1, 2, it's only 4 o'clock. Oh my god. It's exactly the smallest spot. If 2 are exchanged for 1, it's a leopard. Har har. It's also luck that I can open it to the minimum. You are worthy of being the goddess of luck. The men nearby started teasing and mocking her. Xu Ruoying's face looked very ugly. Tang Hong even grabbed Feng Lin's arm and said, "Stop betting. This matter has nothing to do with you." "Shut up." Brother Wolf pointed at Tang Hong and roared, "Be quiet. Don't think I don't know that your daughter is still attending university in Jiang City." Tang Hong's face turned pale instantly and she didn't dare to say a word. Feng Lin smiled, he was just getting familiar with it the first time. It seems that his skills have not fallen behind. Secretary, another 100. Chapter 766. Xu Ruoying handed the only $100 left in her wallet to Feng Lin. After that, she looked around for an escape route. She knew that Feng Lin didn't even have $100 on him. Where can I return the 300,000? Brother Wolf felt helpless. He gave you the chance but you were useless. But Brother Wolf is a cautious person and he must let Feng Lin win once. Come again. Feng Lin shook it a few more times and put it on the table. The same thing goes for Brother Wolf, he didn't cheat. This time they both opened it at the same time, Feng Lin at 6 o'clock and Wolf Brother at 8 o'clock. Lost again. Xu Ruoying and Tang Hong both turned pale. Grass. Feng Lin cursed angrily, "I don't believe in evil. Secretary, take the bank card with the least amount of money." Feng Lin. Xu Ruoying called out in a low voice, but looking at the confidence on Feng Lin's face, for some reason, she still took out an ordinary bank card. Feng Lin took the bank card and looked at Brother Wolf. "Is there a card swipe machine?" "You should know that Xu Ruoying's bank card has been frozen. The balance in it can be checked, but it cannot be used. What Feng Lin needs to do is to make them believe that there is money in the card." "Yes. Har har har. I have everything here." Brother Wolf's mouth was about to split open with laughter. This guy must be crazy. A bald guy, holding a black POS machine, came to Feng Lin. Feng Lin swiped the card and Xu Ruoying next to him entered the password. "Click check balance." The bald man exclaimed, "Brother Wolf, there is 200,000 in the card." "Okay." Brother Wolf smiled and rubbed his hands. "How much will you bet next time?" Feng Lin threw the bank card directly into the middle of the table. 200,000, do you dare? Hiss. Everyone around was stunned. It was indeed the big boss. When playing dice, he dares to roll 200,000. Sure. I'm happy today, so I'll play with you. Brother Wolf winked at the person next to him, telling him that he couldn't take this much money lightly. This time, I have to cheat. A yellow-haired young man next to him took out a mobile phone from his pocket and started the machine on the table. Feng Lin only shook it 3 times this time and then put it on the table. Brother Wolf shook many times. Come on. Open. Feng Lin opened the bamboo tube again, 225. 9 points in total. But after Brother Wolf opened the bamboo tube, his points were 665. 17 o'clock. Har har har. Brother Wolf threw his head back and laughed, then put the bank card next to him. This is his machine, and his dice actually have magnets on them. As long as the machine is turned on, it's either 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. The reason why we don't use all sixes is because we're afraid that others will become suspicious. If all sixes are sixes, even a fool would know that there is something wrong. Feng Lin. Xu Ruoying didn't know what to say. Tang Hong felt even more dizzy. She had met Feng Lin several times before and remembered that he was not that kind of person. Fuck. I don't believe it. Keep taking the smallest bank card. Feng Lin slammed the table and yelled at Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying hesitated for a moment, but decided to listen to Feng Lin and took out a bank card. Come. Check the balance. Feng Lin pointed at the bald man next to him. The bald man came over with a smile. After checking the balance, he gasped in shock, Brother Wolf, it's a full 600,000. The people around also felt their heartbeats quicken. This brother is really awesome. 600,000 for one. Do you dare? Feng Lin threw the bank card into the middle of the table again. 600,000 for one. Oh my god, I finally meet a real boss. Har har, Brother Wolf shouldn't dare to do that, right? If I were Brother Wolf, I wouldn't play. The number is too high. Looking at the speeches of the people around him, Brother Wolf sneered. Why not follow? I'm following. Come. Brother Wolf waved his hand. Stop. Feng Lin suddenly raised his hand. What's wrong? Do you regret it? Brother Wolf asked puzzledly. No, I bet 200,000 just now because I owed Brother Wolf 300,000, so I didn't let you pay. Feng Lin pointed at the bank card on the table and said, I have 600,000 yuan here now. The money Brother Wolf bet on me is not enough. Brother Wolf was stunned. He was so happy that he actually forgot about this matter. Feng Lin agreed to return the 300,000 yuan to Tang Hong, plus the 200,000 yuan he just won, which only amounted to 500,000 yuan. The money is indeed not enough to match their 600,000 yuan. Wait. Brother Wolf took the key from his pocket and headed for the room in the distance. After a while, he was holding a thick stack of banknotes in his hand. Anyway, this money will be yours sooner or later. Is that enough this time? Brother Wolf put 100,000 yuan in the middle of the table. That's enough. Feng Lin smiled and nodded, then began to shake violently. Come on. Good. Brother Wolf laughed loudly. In less than a few minutes, he won 800,000 yuan, which he had never dared to dream of before. Finally, they both stopped at the same time. I'll go first. Brother Wolf quickly took the bamboo tube away, 3 fives, leopard. The crowd watching exclaimed. This is the second place in the ranking, and Feng Lin only has one chance to win. That's 3 sixes. Little brother. I told you long ago that you are too anxious. How can you bet 600,000 at once? That's right. This is 600,000. Facing the words of the people around him, Feng Lin set his eyes on Xu Ruoying, goddess of luck, you come. I'm not coming. Xu Ruoying waved her hands hurriedly. She had just done it herself and made the smallest point. It might be the same this time. Be obedient. Feng Lin said to Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying took a deep breath, clasped her hands together and prayed, then closed her eyes and quickly opened the bamboo tube. When everyone around saw what was happening, they all screamed in shock. 3 sixes. Leopard. Biggest. Holy crap. Is this true? She is indeed the goddess of luck. The points she gives are either the smallest or the largest. 6, 6, 6. This is really 6, 6, 6. Xu Ruoying listened to the shouts of the people around her, opened her eyes, and hugged Feng Lin's head excitedly. But she was sitting on Feng Lin because of the height difference between them. Feng Lin's face was covered and everything in front of him was dark. Xu Ruoying suddenly reacted, immediately moved away from Feng Lin, and stood in the distance with her head down. Har har. I was saying, how can you keep losing? Feng Lin took out 2 bank cards and handed them to Xu Ruoying, and then took out a stack of bills. Brother Wolf, where's the IOU? Brother Wolf's face was grim. He didn't expect this kid to be so lucky. He took out the IOU from his pocket, crumpled it up, threw it to Feng Lin, and said sternly, "Come again." "No, we have something else to do." Feng Lin picked up the IOU and took a look at it. There was not only a signature but also a fingerprint on it, so it should be authentic. He stood up and turned to leave. "Stop. Let's continue. You want to leave after winning the money." Brother Wolf slammed the table hard, and all the younger brothers around him stopped Feng Lin. Feng Lin turned around with a smile. "So here with Brother Wolf, you can only lose money, and those who win money can't leave." Chapter 8, I'll give you 300 million orders. Feng Lin's words drew responses from people around him. "Brother Wolf. What do you mean? You got carried away and you blame others. I lost $30,000 or $40,000 to you, but I can't afford to lose as much as you can." "That's right. If you're like this, who will come to your place in the future?" The many gamblers around are not vegetarians either. Almost none of them had ever won money here, and they were all very angry. "Now that we finally have a winner, they won't let us leave. Who will come here in the future?" Brother Wolf clenched his fists. It seemed he had no choice but to swallow his anger. "I can't stop doing business just for 100,000 yuan. Let them go." Brother Wolf waved his hand. All the people around dispersed to make way for Feng Lin. Feng Lin grabbed Xu Ruoying's hand and left in a swagger. After they came outside, Xu Ruoying patted her chest and said, "I was scared to death. I've told you before, I've always had good luck." Feng Lin handed the IOU to Tang Hong. "Auntie, burn it." Feng Lin. I don't know how to thank you." Tang Hong's tears kept falling like a river bursting its dam. Feng Lin saved her whole family. As the saying goes, a distant relative is not as good as a close neighbor. As Feng Lin was speaking, the stack of money in his hand was snatched away by Xu Ruoying. She had 20,000 yuan in one trouser pocket and another 20,000 yuan in the other pocket of her shirt. The last 20,000 yuan was stuffed into his clothes. "What are you doing?" Feng Lin asked helplessly. "Confiscated. I am the goddess of luck. Without me, how can you win?" Xu Ruoying crossed her arms and said calmly. Feng Lin rolled his eyes helplessly. "How dare you say that? Go back." Tang Hong followed behind Feng Lin with an unnatural look on her face. It seemed that the woman in front of her should be Feng Lin's girlfriend. Didn't Mr. Feng tell Feng Lin at the beginning? It was obvious that their two families had planned the marriage long ago. After leaving, Feng Lin sent a text message to someone, asking them to shut down the place. After returning home, Feng Lin opened the door. With the help of Tang Hong, several people cleaned the room. Finally, it looks a lot cleaner. Xu Ruoying called Zhu Ziying and asked her for help to get something. She said goodbye to Feng Lin and left a moment ago. As for Feng Lin, he was going to eat something. "It's almost dusk now. I've been busy for so long and haven't eaten yet." He put his hands in his trouser pockets and walked casually on the street in the urban village. Suddenly, I saw a bun shop. He walked in. "Welcome, meat or vegetarian?" Feng Lin just walked in and saw a beautiful girl in sportswear greeting him. She has a small, oval face, shoulder-length hair, and is full of youthfulness. Feng Lin stared at the woman blankly. "Hello." Tang Qianqian called out again, but her expression was already somewhat displeased. "This man is so uncultured," he kept staring at her. "Wait a minute." Feng Lin took out photos from his inner pocket, flipped through them one by one, and finally found a woman with short hair. Exactly the same as the person in front of me. Who are you? Why do you have a photo of me?" Tang Qianqian immediately reached out to grab it. But Feng Lin dodged in advance and looked at Tang Qianqian calmly. The previous evaluation of her was that she had a bad figure. From the looks of it, it should be an adult, but it is still like a cutting board. I hope you won't get excited about what I'm about to say. Feng Lin put the photos back and only took Tang Qianqian's photo. "Actually, I'm your fiancé. I'll marry your grandmother's legs." Tang Qianqian looked around, picked up the broom in the corner, pointed at Feng Lin, and said, "Get out. I'm calling the police." "Listen to me, I really am your fiancé, but I don't think we are suitable, so let's forget about the marriage." Feng Lin took a few steps back and smiled awkwardly. Do you really think I'm kidding? Tang Qianqian picked up the phone, pressed Yaoying, and asked Feng Lin to take a look at the number on it. I want meat buns. Feng Lin stopped her and told her to eat first. Tang Qianqian glared at Feng Lin coldly, but she was here to work after all, so she chose to endure it. He took a basket of buns, placed them coldly in front of Feng Lin, then turned and left. At this moment, a middle-aged man with a flat head walked in from the back. He smiled at Feng Lin and said, "Lots of meat, right? Are you the boss?" Feng Lin asked calmly. "Yes, I have worked here for more than 10 years. Zhang Bing nodded with a smile. The buns tasted good, but the waiter was not good. My originally good mood was ruined by the waiter. Feng Lin ate while glancing at Tang Qianqian. You? Tang Qianqian pointed at Feng Lin viciously. Qianqian. What's wrong with you? Zhang Bing frowned. Don't bring your emotions into your work. Apologize. Tang Qianqian took a few deep breaths in anger, clenched her fists, walked up to Feng Lin, and said coldly, I'm sorry. Boss, look at her tone. Feng Lin complained again. Zhang Bing's face was a little unhappy. Qianqian, you should know that uncle asked you to greet him because of your mother. Tang Qianqian puffed her lips slightly. She usually has to go to school, so she rushes over at 5:30 in the afternoon and is busy until 7 or 8 in the evening. It only takes 2 hours, and the bun shop is mainly busy with breakfast, so there is almost no need for help in the afternoon. But Zhang Bing still agreed and promised to pay her wages to supplement the family income. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Tang Qianqian forced a smile towards Feng Lin, which was uglier than crying. Forget it, I'm not a demon. Feng Lin smiled and touched Tang Qianqian's head, then continued eating the buns. Tang Qianqian enjoyed it and sat opposite. After eating, Feng Lin took out the money and said before leaving, remember to tell your family that we are done. Feng Lin walked around and then returned to his residence. I found a BMW parked in front of their door. Zhu Ziying just happened to walk out. When she saw Feng Lin, she immediately rushed over and said, Feng Lin, get in the car. What's wrong? Feng Lin didn't know what was going on yet and was hugged from behind and pushed into the car in the same way. It's all my fault. Zhu Ziying knocked on the steering wheel angrily, started the car and left. Feng Lin supported his cheek with one hand and learned from Zhu Ziying that the Shu family had sealed up all of Shu Ruoying's belongings and sent people to keep an eye on Zhu Ziying. Because they knew that if Shu Ruoying got into trouble, she would definitely ask Zhu Ziying for help. When the two of them went shopping, Shu Ruoying was forcibly taken away by people from the Shu family. At the same time, Shu Ruoying sat on the sofa with red eyes. Behind her were 2 security guards, ready to subdue her at any time. Xiaoyin, tell me the truth, what happened? Xu Chuan was smoking a cigarette with a serious expression. He knew his daughter would never do such a thing for no reason. Shu Ruoying told them everything she saw today. Xu Chuan and Wang Qin looked at each other. Do you understand now? He is just playing tricks on me. Xu Ruoying said coldly. So what? You married him, and he promised our family a 300 million order. It must be true. Wang Qin came over and said solemnly, what's more, we really can't afford to offend the Song family. If we offend them, our Shu family will be finished. Are you still my mother? Xu Ruoying shouted with tears. Bang! The door of their villa was kicked open by Feng Lin. Isn't it just an order of 300 million? I'll give it to you. Feng Lin walked in with his hands in his pockets and an indifferent expression. Chapter 9 Medium Meaning. You little brat. How did you get in here? Wang Qin gets angry whenever she sees Feng Lin. I was a soldier for a few years. Your security guards can't stop me. Feng Lin walked over and stared at Wang Qin. I'll give you the 300 million order. Don't harm your daughter. Har har. Are you kidding me? This is 300 million, not 300. Who do you think you are? Wang Qin was too lazy to say more to Feng Lin. If he has this ability, why would he look like this? Feng Lin, have you been poisoned by idle dramas? Do you think a 300 million order is a piece of cake? Xu Chuan sat there, puffing away at the cigarette. If you spend 8,000 yuan a day for 100 years, you still won't be able to spend all the 300 million yuan. Feng Lin shook his head slightly. I can't say it's a small thing, that sounds too arrogant, let's say it's a moderate thing. Ahem. Xu Chuan, who was smoking, suddenly choked and started coughing violently. Wang Qin said indifferently, "Okay. Feng Lin, I trust you. If you can get us an order of 300 million, I will not interfere in your affairs anymore. Do you agree?" Feng Lin looked at Xu Chuan. "Agreed. As long as we can get the order, we don't care about the Song family." Xu Chuan nodded. If he could take advantage of the opportunity to develop the 300 million orders, the future profit could even double. As the Xu group grows bigger, the Song family will have to pay a heavy price if they want to deal with them. As long as the Song family is not fools, they will definitely not provoke them for the sake of Song Keming, the rich second generation. Okay. It's settled. After Feng Lin finished speaking, he turned and left. Stop. Wang Qin called to Feng Lin from behind, "You don't set a deadline. Do you want us to wait for you for 100 years? Feng Lin raised 2 fingers and said calmly, 2 days. Okay. If you don't receive this order by this time the day after tomorrow, you'd better stay away from my daughter. Wang Qin sat back on the sofa and looked at Feng Lin coldly. Feng Lin, I'll take you there. Xu Ruoying stood up and walked towards Feng Lin. The 2 security guards standing behind her were about to take action when they were stopped by Xu Chuan. "Xiaoyin, you can send him off, but you can't go with him." Snort. Xu Ruoying snorted coldly, took Feng Lin's hand and left. When she arrived outside the villa, she puffed her cheeks and asked, "Did you do this on purpose?" Feng Lin was puzzled. "What do you mean?" "You knew you couldn't get an order worth 300 million, so you agreed on purpose and planned to run away." Xu Ruoying hit Feng Lin's arm somewhat unhappily. In her opinion, Feng Lin could not complete this task. How can a poor guy who doesn't even have $100 on him get 300 million? By the way, give me your phone number. When I get an order, have them call you. Feng Lin took out his black cell phone. Are you really confident? Although Xu Ruoying said this, she still took out her cell phone and exchanged numbers with Feng Lin. Nonsense, I will definitely do what I promised. Remember to tell me the information later. Feng Lin waved at Xu Ruoying and left the Xu family. Leaving Xu's house alone, Feng Lin took the same path as before. Follow this stream and leave the East District. He kept flipping through his phone, wondering who to call. He doesn't want to owe favors to people he doesn't know well. If it's someone you know very well, let them know where you are, and maybe you can block his door early tomorrow morning. Mr. Feng Lin. Just as he was thinking about this, a middle-aged man walked quickly towards him from a distance. Feng Lin raised his head and saw Zhu Qian, whom he met in the morning. Why are you still here? Feng Lin frowned slightly. Har, in the morning and evening, I come here to take a walk and exercise. Zhu Qian's words were a lie. In fact, he usually comes here in the morning to exercise. The reason he is here this time is to try and see if he can meet Feng Lin again. This person is a true master, and simply knowing his name is not enough. At least some contact information. It seems that the gentleman is worried. Zhu Qian was worried that he had no chance to chat with Feng Lin, so he took the initiative to bring up a topic. It's nothing, actually. I'm just short of money at the moment. Feng Lin waved his hand casually and continued to stare at the numerous phone numbers on his phone, selecting the list. Sir, a big shot like you is also short of money. Zhu Qian looked surprised. Logically speaking, such a person wouldn't need to manage his finances anymore. No matter what it is, just say the word and someone will deliver it. You don't understand. Feng Lin said unhappily and turned away. Sir, I understand. Zhu Qian followed with a smile, like a follower. When such a big shot wants to do something, there will definitely be a group of people vying to help, but in the end, they may end up owing them a favor. Big shots hate this kind of thing the most. How much do you need, sir? No need to call, I'll give it to you directly, how convenient. Zhu Qian stood in front of Feng Lin and said seriously, I only ask you to have a meal with me and give me some advice. Feng Lin put away his phone and looked at him carefully. I need an order of 300 million. Order? For whom? Zhu Qian asked. Feng Lin pointed in the direction he had just come from, Xu's house. Okay. I agree. The Xu family is also a big company. If we give them the order, we might be able to save money. Zhu Qian smiled and nodded. 300 million was a lot for the Zhu family, one of the 4 major families. Not much really. What's more, being able to make friends with such a big shot is worth 3 billion, let alone 300 million. Are you sure? Feng Lin asked. To be honest, sir, our Jew family has some status in Jiang City. We can give you 300 million for free, not to mention the order. Zhu Qian's expression was very respectful, and he continued, if you don't believe me, I will ask them to contact the Shu family now. It's not too late tomorrow, I'll give you some pointers first. Feng Lin stopped Zhu Qian. He didn't like owing others anything. Since others chose to help him, he would naturally do something for him. Good. Zhu Qian was ecstatic. Right here. I've had my meal. Feng Lin grabbed Zhu Qian's wrist again and felt it carefully. To be honest, your injury is not easy to treat. It will take at least half a month to heal. It's too troublesome for me. Only half a month. Zhu Qian couldn't believe that he had this hidden injury whenever it rained or the temperature dropped. Like a needle pricking your bone marrow. He had been suffering for 20 years, and despite seeking help from many famous doctors, none of them could diagnose the problem, let alone cure it. This one only takes half a month? Does it hurt now? Feng Lin pressed Zhu Qian's waist. Sir, the temperature is fine today. My hidden injury gets worse every time it rains or hiss. Zhu Qianjing said this and took a breath. A familiar feeling. He is indeed an expert, he can accurately find hidden injuries and make pain appear. Boom! Feng Lin suddenly exerted force, Zhu Qian's body shook and flew backwards. Zhu Qian fell heavily to the ground. Far from being angry, he shook his left waist excitedly, strange. There is actually power flowing here. You know, the injured area of his body seems to be a piece of dead flesh, and the hidden force cannot reach it. But after being hit by Feng Lin, he was able to mobilize his hidden energy here. Leave me your contact information and I'll call you tomorrow, still at the same place. Feng Lin said casually. Yes. Zhu Qian now has great respect for Feng Lin. At the same time, Tang Qianqian rode an electric donkey home. What happened today made her very angry. If she saw him again next time, she would bite that bastard to death. Mom. I want to ask you something. After parking the electric bike, Tang Qianqian happened to see Tang Hong taking out the trash. Chapter 10, 30 years in the East, 30 years in the West. Tang Hong smiled and nodded, her heart finally at ease. The 300,000 yuan debt is gone, and my daughter can go to school well from now on. She herself is also preparing to find a job. What's wrong with you today? Why are you so happy? Tang Qianqian was originally very upset, but when she saw her mother smiling from time to time, her anger subsided. The man she hated most was her father. He is uneducated, doesn't work, and still relies on his mother to support him. Not only does he not make money, he also likes to drink and gamble. When he comes home drunk, he will beat her mother. Upon learning that her father had died, Tang Qianqian was not sad but felt somewhat relieved. She immediately went to the local household registration center and changed her surname to her mother's. Speaking of which, I haven't seen my mother smiling so easily for a long time. Good news. I made braised fish and spare ribs today. I'll tell you when we have dinner. Tang Hong washed her hands and went back into the kitchen. Mom. If you had told me earlier, I wouldn't have eaten buns at Uncle Zhang's place. Tang Qianqian walked towards the door as usual and was about to lock it when suddenly an arm stretched out from the crack in the door. Tang Qianqian was so scared that she stepped back in a hurry. Feng Lin pushed the door open and saw Tang Qianqian. Tang Qianqian also stared at Feng Lin. Eyes met. You bastard! How dare you come to my house? I'm calling the police. Tang Qianqian kicked him out. But Feng Lin dodged easily and grabbed her ankle. Mom! Call the police. Tang Qianqian immediately shouted inside. Mom! Feng Lin narrowed his eyes. Could it be that the woman in front of him was Tang Hong's daughter? I remember that when I was gambling before, I did hear Brother Lang say that Tang Hong had a daughter who was in school. Plus, Dad used to be her neighbor. It makes sense that the two of them are engaged. Qianqian, what's going on? Tang Hong ran out nervously, thinking that Brother Wolf was not convinced and was causing trouble again. Ouch! Feng Lin deliberately pushed forward, letting Tang Qianqian's feet stick to his clothes. Then Feng Lin sat on the ground. Tang Qianqian! What are you doing? Tang Hong roared when she saw Feng Lin sitting on the ground and shoe prints on his clothes. Mom! This bastard! Why are you talking? Tang Hong interrupted Tang Qianqian and hurried over to help Feng Lin up. Feng Lin, are you okay? Auntie, I'm fine. I was just kicked. I can handle it. Feng Lin stood up and brushed the dust off his body. Tang Qianqian was so angry that her teeth itched. Mom! He did it on purpose. Shut up. This is our benefactor. Do you know why I am happy? The 300,000 we owed was paid back by Feng Lin. Tang Hong scolded, what are you standing there for? Apologize. Tang Qianqian's eyes turned red with anger. She exhaled and yelled at Feng Lin, I'm sorry. After saying that, he turned and ran into the room. Damn girl. Tang Hong pointed at Tang Qianqian's back and bowed to Feng Lin hurriedly. Feng Lin, I'm sorry, I didn't discipline her well. Fine. Feng Lin smiled and waved his hand, locking the door. Come on, I made something delicious and I'm waiting for you. Tang Hong took Feng Lin's hand and walked towards her living room. Feng Lin sat on a somewhat worn-out sofa with hot dishes in front of him. Let Qianqian eat together. Feng Lin said with a smile. Never mind her. She's already eaten. Tang Hong served Feng Lin a bowl of rice and kept putting vegetables into Feng Lin's bowl. Feng Lin looked at the table full of food and thought they were probably waiting for him. He suddenly felt embarrassed to bring up the idea of breaking off the engagement. Now that she's not having a good life, I'm saying, I want to break off the engagement with your daughter. Wouldn't that make him a villain? He looked down on the other person and thought that she was not worthy of him, so he broke off the engagement. Don't bully the young and poor, as things may change over time. Don't treat him as an enemy. Thinking of this, Feng Lin decided not to mention it for the time being. Anyway, Tang Qianqian is still young. Feng Lin. Who is that person today? Tang Hong, who was eating, asked in a low voice. She is my good friend. Feng Lin explained with a smile. Har har. I'm relieved now. I thought she was your wife. Tang Hong smiled and took a bite of the meal. Come to think of it, you and my daughter are engaged. Tang Qianqian was hiding at the bedroom door, wiping her tears and eavesdropping through the crack in the door. After hearing this, her eyes widened. Feng Lin did not lie, he really was her fiancé. I originally thought that he bribed my mother with money. But she remembered that Feng Lin came to her to break off the engagement. Thinking of this, she puffed her lips, opened the door, walked over and sat at the dining table. I'm sorry. Feng Lin looked at Tang Qianqian, whose eyes were red, and said with a smile. Mom. How come I didn't know that you had a fiancé? Tang Qianqian ignored Feng Lin and looked at Tang Hong. Do you still remember Uncle Feng who lived across the street? Feng Lin is your Uncle Feng's son. Tang Hong explained with a smile. Uncle Feng. Tang Qianqian thought of that dishonest old man and glanced at Feng Lin again. Like father, like son, they are not good people. How can you talk like that? Feng Lin frowned immediately. You can scold me, but you can't scold me. After Tang Qianqian said this, she actually regretted scolding someone's father in front of him. Who wouldn't he be angry? She was just about to apologize when she suddenly felt what Feng Lin said. Something is wrong. Qianqian, if you keep talking like this, I'll be really angry. Feng Lin and your Uncle Feng are both our benefactors. When I broke my leg and had no money for treatment, if it weren't for your Uncle Feng, I would have become a cripple. Tang Hong recalled what happened in the past. Feng Lin's father did not ask for money at that time. He just said that he had a son who would marry Tang Qianqian in the future. Tang Hong's husband, unwilling to pay, agreed on the spot. As for Tang Hong, she had met Feng Lin several times and thought this guy was good, so she decided to hire him. I'm wrong, that's okay. Tang Qianqian held the bowl and glanced at Feng Lin secretly. If these are all true, Feng Lin is indeed their benefactor. 300,000 is not a small amount. Why do you want to break off the engagement with me today? Tang Qianqian suddenly asked. Tang Hong, who was eating, had her expression frozen instantly. Feng Lin also noticed her expression and explained with a smile, I am afraid that this matter will become a shackle for you. You are still young and should not be bound by it. When Tang Hong heard this, she was almost moved to tears. She really was right about the person. If she knew, Feng Lin would break off the engagement. Just because Tang Qianqian has a bad figure, she might be angry to death. Feng Lin, it's good to have some restraint. Tang Hong smiled again and hurriedly picked up some food for Feng Lin. Eat quickly, before it gets cold. After Feng Lin finished his meal here, he returned to the house opposite and lay down on the sofa in the living room. He held up the photos in his hand and flipped through them one by one. Which one should he choose? Feng Lin. Open the door. Tang Qianqian's voice came from outside. Feng Lin put the photos away, stood up and opened the door. I noticed Tang Qianqian came in with bedding in her arms. My mom said your bedding hasn't been washed for a long time and has a lot of bacteria. Ours has just been dried in the sun. Thanks. Feng Lin took the bedding and put it on the sofa first. Why do you have so many photos in your hands? Tang Qianqian suddenly asked. What does this little brat know? Get out now, I'm going to take a shower. Feng Lin pushed Tang Qianqian's back, ready to drive her out. I know the person in the photo above. Tang Qianqian turned around and said. Chapter 11. Are you here to get married? After hearing this, Feng Lin immediately let go of Tang Qianqian and asked uncertainly, really? There's no need for me to lie to you. Tang Qianqian spread her hands. Feng Lin now has a total of 9 photos, because Xu Ruoying's photos were taken away by Zhu Ziying. In other words, it couldn't be Xu Ruoying. Feng Lin didn't take out all of them, but asked, tell me first, does that person have long hair or short hair? Why should I tell you? I won't. Tang Qianqian made a face and walked outside. But she noticed that Feng Lin did not stop her, so she stopped again. You really don't want to know? I want to know, but I'm not that curious. Feng Lin sat on the sofa again. I have 2 questions. Tell me and I'll answer them. Tang Qianqian didn't wait for Feng Lin to refuse and asked first, why did you break off the engagement with me? Second, who are these people to you? Feng Lin thought about it for a moment and decided that it would be okay to tell her this question alone. If the person who proposes to cancel the engagement in the future is Tang Qianqian, then that would be a good choice. These are my fiancés. Feng Lin looked at Tang Qianqian and said calmly, as for breaking off the engagement with you, I think you should understand that I have a better choice. Puff. Tang Qianqian couldn't help laughing. She walked over with a smile and said, I didn't drink alcohol just now. Do you believe what you said? Believe it or not, I've already told you. It's normal that Tang Qianqian doesn't believe it. At first, even when his father gave him 10 photos, he himself didn't believe it. The long-haired woman in a black dress and gold-rimmed glasses is our counselor and vice president of the college, Lan Ru, Tang Qianqian explained. A black skirt. Feng Lin took out the photo again and found the woman as expected. Looks very intellectual. It gives people a gentle feeling, and with a pair of glasses, it looks like a scholarly family. Feng Lin put all the other photos in the box and looked at this photo carefully. In terms of figure, she is definitely not as good as Xu Ruoying. But it is also above average. Feng Lin is ready to make contact with her. If her personality is the same as her appearance, she will be gentle as water. Then she would be a good candidate. Tang Qianqian also came over and sat on the sofa next to Feng Lin, pouting and saying, don't dream, Teacher Lan is the goddess of the school, there are so many people chasing after her. Just now, she also learned from her mother that Feng Lin earned the money by gambling. Moreover, the gambling money was borrowed from his friends, so it was obvious that Feng Lin was not a rich man. Call me at school tomorrow morning. Feng Lin put the photo back in. You can't really. Tang Qianqian was speechless, but Feng Lin was their family's benefactor after all, so she couldn't refuse him. She nodded in agreement and left. The next morning, Feng Lin woke up early and prepared to go to school in the morning. Contact Zhu Qian again in the afternoon and settle Xu Ruoying's matter. At 7:30 in the morning, Feng Lin and Tang Qianqian had breakfast together at Tang Hong's place. Finally, Tang Qianqian rode the electric bike and let Feng Lin sit in the back. The two of them took the suburban road from the urban village and finally arrived at Jiangxi University. Generally speaking, universities cover a large area. Therefore, most of them will be built in the suburbs, as is the case in Jiang City. The place where Tang Qianqian lives can be reached by electric car in 20 minutes. Qianqian. Who is your boyfriend? Isn't it right? Qianqian, you are actually dating a boyfriend. When they found Tang Qianqian with a man, several female classmates they knew were all surprised. In their opinion, Tang Qianqian was a standard good student. He studies well and often does odd jobs. She rejected all the men who confessed to her, no matter who they were, for only one reason. Pinshuk. I don't want to fall in love before graduation. No. Tang Qianqian stopped immediately, her face slightly red. She pushed Feng Lin down and scolded, "We're here, go find it yourself." Feng Lin got out of the car with a smile, gently touched Tang Qianqian's head, and walked into the university. Qianqian. That man is so handsome. And he's tall, probably about 1.85 meters. He looks older, maybe a senior in his third or fourth year. Tang Qianqian hurriedly denied, "Don't talk nonsense, I just met him halfway. He said he didn't know the school, so I brought him here." Feng Lin arrived at the school and went directly to the Academic Affairs building. "There is a receptionist sitting here." Feng Lin lay on the stage and asked with a smile, "I'm looking for the vice president, Lan Ru." "Excuse me, do you have an appointment?" The round-faced woman at the front desk glanced at Feng Lin and asked. "No, but I am her relative," Feng Lin said with a smile. The woman rolled her eyes in annoyance and said, "You'd better leave. There are at least 8 people like you every day. Don't embarrass me." Feng Lin thought for a moment and was about to speak when the elevator door opened. A woman in a black dress came out. She was holding a book in her hands and wearing gold-rimmed glasses. "This person is Lan Ru." Feng Lin took the photo and compared it again. When he found that it was the person in front of him, he immediately walked over. "Hello." Feng Lin greeted with a smile. "Well, hello." Lan Ru smiled faintly and walked straight past Feng Lin. When she found Feng Lin was still following her, she frowned slightly. "What's the matter?" "I still have to go to class." Feng Lin looked at Lan Ru carefully, and his voice sounded very gentle. Lan Ru looked at Feng Lin with some disdain and left quickly. Feng Lin followed him again. Before he could say anything, Lan Ru spoke first. "Sorry, I have a fiancé, please respect me." "Is your fiancé's name Feng Lin?" Feng Lin took out his ID card and handed it to Lan Ru. "I am Feng Lin." Lan Ru's pupils constricted. She looked carefully at Feng Lin's ID card and remembered that her grandfather had said that her fiancé was called Feng Lin. How is this possible? Grandpa was not joking, he really had a fiancé. You're here to get married. Lan Ru never thought that her fiancé would come to see her in person. She always thought that this was the reason why her grandfather rejected others. So, this became her reason for rejecting men. Whenever someone confessed his love to her, she would say that she already had a fiancé. "I didn't expect that my fiancé would really come. I was originally planning to cancel the engagement, but after seeing you, I thought we could talk." Feng Lin looked at the woman in front of him. She gave him a very comfortable feeling and he wanted to have more contact with her. Break off an engagement. Lan Ru couldn't help but roll her eyes. Is this so real? He originally came here to cancel the engagement, but when he saw me, he no longer wanted to cancel it. Wrong. Lan Ru thought about how Feng Lin seemed to know what she looked like. Logically, it wasn't because of her appearance. "Do you have a photo of me before?" "Yes, actually, I pay more attention to the beauty of the soul. I like gentle people." Feng Lin's words had just fallen. There was the roar of an engine in the distance. A man in a suit stepped out of a red Ferrari and said, "Xiao Ru, good morning." Lan Ru looked at the man and smiled faintly. "Good morning, Teacher Song. Please park your car in the parking space. I don't have classes today." "Remember, you don't have classes either. I have reserved a new restaurant. Are you free for lunch?" Song Fan asked with a smile. "Sorry, I have to go to the Ministry of Education for a meeting this morning." Lan Ru politely declined. She glanced at Feng Lin and said, "Feng Lin, let's go." Feng Lin. Song Fan's face suddenly turned gloomy. He remembered this name. Chapter 12. I am an old Chinese doctor. Song Fan is from the Song family, one of the 4 major families in Jiang City. Song Keming is his younger brother. Compared to Song Keming, who is uneducated and unskilled, Song Fan is much more sophisticated. Therefore, he was given a mission, which was to find a way to pursue Lan Ru and marry her. The Lan family is also one of the 4 major families in Jiang City. Among the 4 major families, 2 did not start out in business. They are the Zhu family and the Lan family. The head of the Zhu family, Zhu Qian, is a master of martial arts. Not to mention Jiang City, even in the whole Jiang Bay, he is a well-known figure. No matter who it is, they will give him some face. The Lan family is even more powerful. Old Man Lan is a senior retired official of the country. The old man had 3 sons in total, 2 of whom died on foreign battlefields. The reason why the Lan family is so powerful can be summed up in 2 words. Connections. Mr. Lan has only 1 son left, and this son has only 1 daughter, Lan Ru. The benefits of marrying Lan Ru can be imagined. Song Fan once talked to Grandpa Lan and said that he liked Lan Ru very much. Old Master Lan told him directly that Lan Ru had a fiancée named Feng Lin. I didn't expect this person really existed. Under Lan Ru's guidance, Feng Lin came to her car. She drives a domestically produced Chery, which is considered a relatively affordable SUV. Originally, Feng Lin thought that a vice president of a university should at least be at the level of an Audi or BMW. However, this made Feng Lin even more interested. Driving this kind of car proves that it is easy to support. After closing the car door, Lan Ru asked, "Have you seen my grandfather?" "Not yet." Feng Lin shook his head. "It just so happens that this is a matter between the 2 of us, and I don't want a third person to get involved." Lan Ru gently pushed her glasses down and continued, "Feng Lin, I don't want to get married for the time being." Feng Lin smiled and nodded, "It's okay." "Fine." Lan Ru was a little surprised. She seemed to have thought of something and continued, "I am very traditional. Before getting married, the only thing I can tolerate is holding hands." I said, "I focus on character." When Feng Lin was on a mission outside before, his female subordinates were as pretty as Lan Ru and others. As a killer of women, outstanding appearance is a must. But they have too hot a temper. Feng Lin likes gentle people. Lan Ru was getting more and more shocked, and she felt she had nothing to say. "Can we keep in touch? I'll treat you to a meal sometime." Feng Lin took out his cell phone with a smile. He felt that this woman was pretty good. If her personality could be combined with Xu Ruoyin's figure, he would not even look at the rest of the people. "You can get married on the spot. Make time." "I have time now." Lan Ru took out her cell phone so she could check out Feng Lin's taste. "To be honest, I don't have much money." After exchanging phone numbers, Feng Lin took out 2 $10 bills from his pocket and said, "I thought, since this is our first meeting, I should spend $30 on you." $30. Lan Ru thought she had heard it wrong. This man was too stingy. But in order to see through this person earlier, she still said with a smile, $20 can still be enough to eat, I just didn't have breakfast. "That's great. Find a noodle shop. 20 yuan will definitely be enough for a bowl of beef noodles per person." Feng Lin put the money in again and smiled at Lan Ru. In order to cover up her embarrassment, Lan Ru pushed up her glasses slightly. "Okay, I know the family." Not long after their car left, Song Fan appeared from the side and made a phone call with a gloomy face. Under the leadership of Lan Ru, the 2 came to an ordinary noodle shop. Nowadays, everyone, whether they are students or office workers, are busy. There were no customers in the store. "Boss, 2 large bowls of beef noodles." Feng Lin shouted to the boss at the cashier. "Pinshuk. I just want a small portion." Lan Ru said with a smile. "Okay, 1 large and 1 small bowl of beef noodles." The boss called out and walked inside. Feng Lin and Lan Ru sat opposite each other at the dining table. "Would it be convenient for me to ask about your job?" Lan Ru asked with a smile. "I don't have a job at the moment. I just got discharged from the army." Feng Lin replied. For a moment, there was silence again. "Then you're home." "Boss. Bring me 8 bowls of beef noodles." Before Lan Ru could finish her words, she was interrupted by a rough voice. Lan Ru and Feng Lin both looked in the direction of the sound and noticed a burly bearded man walking in with a group of people. "What are you looking at?" The bearded man who was in the lead suddenly pointed at Feng Lin and shouted. The people behind him all came up and surrounded Feng Lin. "You little brat. Who do you think you are? How dare you look at my brother?" A young man with dyed yellow hair walked up, raised his leg, and put 1 foot on the table in front of Feng Lin. Feng Lin frowned slightly. These people were obviously looking for trouble, but he didn't remember provoking anyone. Lan Ru's face was not looking good either. but she still said with a smile, "Brothers, I'm sorry, we didn't mean it." "Oh. Beautiful women always say nice things. I won't bother you." The bearded man pointed at Feng Lin calmly, "Kneel down and kowtow 3 times, and I'll let you go." "That's not a good idea, right? There are people watching here, how about we go out?" Feng Lin asked with a smile. He finally met a gentle girl, so he didn't want to show off too much. "No. You have to kowtow right here in front of me," the bearded man said sternly, "otherwise I'll break your legs." When Lan Ru heard this, she had already guessed that these people were hired by Song Fan. Once, because of work, she had dinner with some ordinary male friends. Those people will suffer this kind of intimidation to a greater or lesser extent. Surprisingly, Lan Ru did not say anything. She just wanted to see Feng Lin's courage. There is no money to be made. But he just knelt like this. This man is definitely not worth relying on. Do you really think I'm kidding? Brothers, let's do it. The bearded man noticed that Feng Lin didn't move, so he waved his hand. Stop. Wait a minute. Feng Lin suddenly shouted. Hearing this, Lan Ru felt a little disappointed. But it doesn't matter this way, since she had no plans to marry Feng Lin anyway. You're smart. 3 heads, I'll wait for the sound. The bearded man crossed his arms and said disdainfully. No, you misunderstood. Feng Lin smiled at the bearded man, then looked at Lan Ru. Although I don't have a job, I am a doctor. If we really get married in the future, I will make money to support you. Are you a doctor? Lan Ru was a little confused. Why did he say this at this time? Yes, I am an old Chinese doctor and I am proficient in the structure of human bones. Feng Lin grabbed Wang Mao's knees. Snap. A crisp sound pierced everyone's nerves. R. Wang Mao let out a pig-slaughtering howl and fell to the ground with a thud. Feng Lin stood up with a smile on his face and grabbed the bearded man's shoulders. Snap. Snap. After 2 sounds, the bearded man's arms drooped down. The piercing pain instantly rushed through his body and the bearded man screamed in pain. The rest of the people were all stunned when they saw this. Who the hell is this person? His bones break just by touching him? They all ran away in fear. One person was so nervous that he fell to the ground, but he got up and disappeared in the blink of an eye. Only these 2 people were left, rolling around and wailing here. Lan Ru stared at Feng Lin in disbelief. Chapter 13, Too Much Bullying. Although Lan Ru is not a doctor, she still knows basic medical knowledge. Human bone joints are very strong, how could they be dislocated with just a touch? Isn't it amazing? Feng Lin grabbed the bearded man's neck and pinned him next to Lan Ru. Touch his arm. Lan Ru nodded subconsciously and shook the bearded man's arm, which was really like a noodle. Ouch! The bearded man was in so much pain that tears came out of his eyes. At this time, Feng Lin grabbed the bearded man's left arm again. Snap! With a crisp sound, his arm was connected. Huh! This arm doesn't hurt anymore. The bearded man was surprised. Snap! Feng Lin removed his arm again and smiled at Lan Ru. Is it fun? Oh woo! Big brother. I was wrong, please let me go. I will kowtow to you, I will kowtow to you. The bearded man knelt on the ground with a thud and kowtowed 3 times to Feng Lin. This person is a devil. Who asked you to come? Feng Lin asked calmly. It's Song Fan. He gave me 10,000 yuan to let me insult you in front of this lady. I'll give that 10,000 yuan to you, brother. Please let me go. The bearded man knelt on the ground and cried. Wang Mao also hugged his legs and cried, Brother, it hurts so much, please. Feng Lin, forget it, just teach them a lesson. Lan Ru said to Feng Lin. Feng Lin nodded and grabbed their joints respectively. Snap. 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 After 3 sounds, although it was still a little painful, I could move. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. The bearded man took out a stack of 100 yuan from his pocket and placed it on the table. Brother and sister-in-law, enjoy your meal. We are leaving now. After saying that, he and Wang Mao ran away. Feng Lin sat down with a smile and pointed at the cash on the table. We are rich now, how about I treat you to a big meal? Forget it, it's past the hour. Lan Ru pushed down her glasses with a smile, and found Feng Lin more and more interesting. When I get home, I must ask my grandfather who he is. Feng Lin and Lan Ru had dinner together, and Lan Ru said goodbye to Feng Lin, saying that she still had work to do. He didn't want to disturb her, so he took the 10,000 yuan and left. It took Feng Lin more than an hour to walk to the small river in the East District. Then he called Zhu Qian and asked him to come over now. Today, if you stimulate the hidden injured meridians again, you can use medicine to regulate them. Just a few minutes after hanging up the phone, a black Bentley stopped in the distance. Zhu Qian opened the back door and rushed to Feng Lin in 2 steps. Sir, I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I just arrived too. Today I will stimulate the meridians in your injured area and prescribe some medicine for you. Take it for a week and then come back to see me. Feng Lin's hand was on the other person's waist again. Boom! Zhu Qian was prepared this time. He did not fly out, but took 7 or 8 steps back before he stabilized his body. Feng Lin took out his cell phone and sent a text message to Zhu Qian, which was the medicinal herbs for his treatment. Zhu Qian saw the message and walked over with a smile. Sir, the 300 million order was ready yesterday. Okay. Send someone to the Shu family now. Remember, only look for Shu Ruoying, no one else. Feng Lin reminded. I'll do it right away. Zhu Qian looked at the text message on his phone and said respectfully to Feng Lin, I'm leaving first. Kindness. Feng Lin nodded and called Shu Ruoying. After a while, the call came through. Feng Lin, you didn't run away, did you? Don't think so badly of me. I have already found the order, and they should come to you soon. Feng Lin hung up the phone after he finished speaking. He was also preparing to go to Shu's house, since it was not far away anyway. Along the way, he also sighed and originally planned to cancel the engagement and leave. Unexpectedly, he met Lan Ru, and after Shu Ruoying's matter was over, he divorced her. I plan to get to know Lan Ru better later. Shu family. Shu Ruoying hung up the phone, and Shu Chuan lit a cigarette, smiled and shook his head. He hung up before you even said anything. He must have run away, right? Wang Qi next to him laughed disdainfully. I told you last night that he would definitely run away. You misunderstood. He said he has received an order worth 300 million yuan and will come to us soon. Shu Ruoying said calmly, but her voice sounded a little unconfident. Har har. Xiaoyan, do you believe it? I'm telling you. Master, the Zhu family wants to see Miss Shu Ruoying. A man in security uniform stood outside the door and said. Zhu family? Could it be? Shu Ruoying was stunned and immediately stood up and walked outside. Shu Chuan and Wang Qin looked at each other and followed. Arriving at the gate, Shu Ruoying looked at the short-haired middle-aged man in the distance and hurriedly went to meet him. It turned out to be Mr. Wang. This man's name is Wang Hai, and he is known as the working emperor of Jiang City. No one in the Zhu family likes business, so they specially invited this expert. In just a few years, the Zhu family's wealth ranked among the top 5 in Jiang City. It can be said that Wang Hai is the boss of the Zhu family business empire. Shu Chuan and Wang Qin were also shocked. Even for them, it was not easy to meet such a big shot. Ms. Shu Ruoying, I have a 300 million order here. Mr. Zhu specifically instructed that it should only be signed with Miss Shu. Wang Hai walked over with a stack of documents in his arms, smiling. Mr. Zhu. Mr. Zhu Qian. Shu Ruoying went crazy because Feng Lin really found an order for her. And it is the Zhu family, one of the 4 major families in Jiang City. Quick! Please come in, Mr. Wang. Shu Chuan was so excited that he couldn't express it in words and hurriedly invited him. After signing the order, Shu Ruoying was still confused. He still feels like he is dreaming. After Wang Hai and others left, she was still standing there in a daze. Soon, Feng Lin appeared in the distance. Did you receive the 300 million order? Seal the forest. Shu Ruoying ran over excitedly and hugged Feng Lin fiercely. Feng Lin smiled and looked at Wang Qin in the distance. I have done my job, shouldn't you also fulfill your promise? Feng Lin. Did you really do this? Don't think I don't know. This must be Zhu Ziying's work, right? Wang Qin glanced at Feng Lin indifferently. Zhu Ziying? Shu Chuan also thought to himself that it was indeed possible that Zhu Ziying was Zhu Qian's daughter. Shu Chuan once told her intentionally or unintentionally that he wanted the 2 companies to cooperate in business. Zhu Ziying asked Zhu Qian, but Zhu Qian said that the people in the Zhu family were laymen and could not influence Wen Hai's judgment. But this time, perhaps it was Zhu Ziyan's persistence that made Zhu Qian agree. No matter who did it, the 300 million order has arrived, and I hope you'll keep your promise. Feng Lin walked over with a calm expression. This one doesn't count. This is not the order you want. It's Zhu Ziyan's order. You must find us another 300 million order. Wang Qin crossed her arms and said calmly. Feng Lin's eyes narrowed slightly, and his expression gradually became colder. Don't go too far. My patience has its limits. Chapter 14 Women's Acting Skills. Patience. What kind of patience do you have? A poor boy from the village, do you really think you are a big shot? Wang Qin pointed at Feng Lin with disdain. You must rely on your own ability to get an order of 300 million, otherwise get out. Mom. I really misjudged you. Don't you have any sense of shame for going back on your word? Xu Ruoying roared with tears in her eyes. Look at the daughter you taught. How can she talk to me? Wang Qin grabbed Xu Chuan's arm and shook it hard. Xu Chuan sighed deeply. In fact, they really didn't expect that Feng Lin could get an order of 300 million. The two chatted for a long time yesterday, and it was impossible for Feng Lin to complete this task. I want him to give up. In their opinion, Feng Lin would take the opportunity to escape. Feng Lin. Let's go. I don't want to stay in a home like this where there is no family affection. Xu Ruoying couldn't believe that her existence was just a benefit in their eyes. They were clearly told about Song Keming's character, but for the sake of an order of 300 million yuan, he put himself in the tiger's mouth. Feng Lin was pulled away by Xu Ruoying. Before leaving, he did not forget to glance at Xu Chuan and Wang Qin. This family really disappointed him. The two took the bus and prepared to go back. Feng Lin looked at Xu Ruoying, who was still crying, smiled and put his arm around her shoulders. You are beautiful. Even in a black sportswear, you look so good. You don't have to tell me. Xu Ruoying pouts slightly and wipes away tears with her sleeve. Shame on you. As Feng Lin was speaking, he felt his cell phone vibrate. He took it out and took a look. It was a call from Lan Ru. Hello. Feng Lin answered the phone. Feng Lin, my grandfather heard that you came to Jiang City and wants to see you. When are you free? Lan Ru asked over there. I have time these days. Okay then, send me the address and I'll pick you up in the afternoon. Lan Ru said with a smile. Okay, goodbye Miss Lan Ru. Feng Lin hung up the phone. Lan Ru. Xu Ruoying's eyes suddenly turned cold. When she found that Feng Lin had hung up the phone, she asked, do you know Lan Ru? She is also my fiancée. This woman is pretty good. I plan to get in touch with her. Feng Lin did not lie. After all, he and Xu Ruoying were just in a business relationship. Once she is completely free from Song Keming, the mission will be completed. Are you still dreaming? Xu Ruoying sneered. She snatched Feng Lin's phone away, opened the call record and checked the phone number. A familiar number appeared before my eyes. The person who called Feng Lin just now was really Lan Ru. Could it be that Feng Lin didn't lie? You and Lan Ru. Feng Lin, what do you mean? Xu Ruoying suddenly lowered her head in grievance, and the tears that had just stopped fell again. This attracted the attention of all the passengers in the car, who were sitting in groups of 3 or 4, to look over here. Especially the men, they wished to destroy Feng Lin. Such a beautiful girlfriend, but she made her cry. What's wrong with me? Feng Lin was totally confused. Lan Ru and I are both engaged to you. You broke me off and agreed to have contact with her. Does that prove that I am not as good as her? Xu Ruoying wiped her tears with her sleeve and pretended to be calm. I don't blame you. This is normal. How can our Xu family compare with the Lan family? It has nothing to do with your family. I said it at the beginning that I like gentle older sisters. Feng Lin explained calmly. Gentle big sister. Pfft. Xu Ruoying burst out laughing. Are you fucking crazy? You're crying and laughing at the same time. Feng Lin rolled his eyes. Your joke is too funny. She and I were in the same class from elementary school to high school. She smoked, permed her hair, and drank. What didn't she do? And you still call her a gentle big sister? Oh. Xu Ruoying curled her lips. She and Lan Ru often fought. Feng Lin frowned and looked a little unhappy. Xu Ruoying, this is your fault. Even if I didn't choose you, it won't ruin your reputation. Have I ruined my reputation? If you don't believe me, ask Ying. We are all in the same class. Ying often brought good food to eat in elementary school. Lan Ru would grab it when she saw it. She and I had several fights over this. Xu Ruoying got angry when she talked about this matter. It's nothing in elementary school, just one-on-one. In junior high school, that stinky woman learned to call people. Once Xu Ruoying got first place in the exam and she was second. Lan Ru called a group of women to teach her a lesson while she was going to the toilet. However, Xu Ruoying had a bad temper and was not afraid of them at all. It was only in high school that they were almost adults, so there were no more conflicts. Pinshuk. Feng Lin glanced at Xu Ruoying, he just smiled and didn't believe it at all. Feng Lin. If you have the guts, let her confront me. Xu Ruoying said coldly. No. It's not good for you to meet her. I don't want her to misunderstand. Feng Lin smiled and shook his head. You. Xu Ruoying gnashed her teeth in anger, and then she sneered, it's impossible for you to do that. We are married. We are fake. Feng Lin reminded. Who said that? We've already got the certificate. If I don't divorce you, you two can never be together. Xu Ruoying raised her pretty face proudly. It just so happens that I have some needs recently. Having more legal wives is a good choice. Feng Lin glanced at Xu Ruoying and to be honest, based purely on appearance, Xu Ruoying best met Feng Lin's requirements. Bar. Shame on you. Xu Ruoying's face suddenly turned red and she turned to look out the window. The two returned to Feng Lin's residence, but Tang Hong was not at home. In the morning, she said she was going out to find a job to supplement the family income. Feng Lin opened his door, and Xu Ruoying walked in first and collapsed on the sofa. Feng Lin told Lan Ru the address and waited for her to pick him up. At 12 o'clock noon, Feng Lin prepared to go to the bun shop where Tang Qianqian used to work to buy some buns. They taste good there, with plenty of meat. As for Xu Ruoying, she sat on the sofa, flipping through her phone, thinking about what to do next. Suddenly, two car horns were heard outside. Xu Ruoying didn't care. Soon, Lan Ru, wearing a black skirt and gold-rimmed glasses, walked in. Excuse me, does Feng Lin live here? Feng Lin went out to buy lunch. Xu Ruoying just answered and her face suddenly changed. This voice is extremely familiar. She looked carefully and saw a familiar woman standing at the door. Lan Ru. It's you? Xu Ruoying pointed at her viciously. Why are you here? Lan Ru frowned. I'm here to expose you. You, a woman, are deceiving Feng Lin's feelings. I will definitely stop you. Xu Ruoying said coldly. Lan Ru calmly took off her gold-rimmed glasses, her temperament changed drastically, and her eyes became sharp. Nyo, the more you meddle in other people's business, the more you get involved. Xu Ruoying's figure has been the object of Lan Ru's ridicule since she was a child. She went from being a football king to a dairy cow, and finally to a bull. The process is from sarcasm at the beginning to envy at the end. I don't care about this title anymore. Xu Ruoying sneered, I advise you to get lost. Feng Lin already has a partner, and that person is me. Interesting. Lan Ru felt more and more puzzled as to who Feng Lin was. A cold woman like Xu Ruoying would actually say such words. Is Miss Lan here? Feng Lin's voice suddenly came from outside. He saw Lan Ru's cherry tigo. Lan Ru immediately rubbed her eyes, put on her glasses, and said aggrievedly, Why do you scold me? Feng Lin was startled, and hurried over. Looking at Lan Ru with tears in her eyes, he shouted, Xu Ruoying, are you fucking crazy? Chapter 15, Dead Knight, Dead Doctor. I'm so fucking. Xu Ruoying was so angry that she jumped up. I had said it before, this woman is a bastard. It's okay. I'm fine. Lan Ru took off her glasses, took out a white handkerchief from her body, wiped her tears, and put them back on. Apologize to Miss Lan. Feng Lin walked in carrying 2 bags of buns and 2 cups of soy milk and said. Feng Lin. She was pretending. She was scolding me just now. Xu Ruoying explained. Can you write a good draft if you lie? Miss Lan Ru is a university teacher and a part-time vice president. Why would she scold you? Feng Lin threw their buns on the table and said, "Apologize now." "It's okay, Feng Lin." Lan Ru forced a smile, walked over and shook her head. "We used to be classmates, there may be some misunderstandings." Even though she explained it this way, she still couldn't stop her tears from flowing. She felt so wronged. Feng Lin hurriedly comforted her. "Don't cry, Miss Lan. She has low character. Don't bother with her. You are the one with low quality." Xu Ruoying was so angry that she was going crazy. This stinky woman was so abominable. "Feng Lin, why does she live with you?" Lan Ru asked in a low voice. "She is my relative. I'm his wife." "We've got the marriage certificate." "Feng Lin, show her my certificate." "My certificate is with Yingying." Xu Ruoying interrupted Feng Lin. "Do you have a fever? If you keep talking nonsense, get out of here." Feng Lin picked up the buns and soy milk in one hand, and easily carried Xu Ruoying on his shoulder with the other hand and walked out. "Lan Ru! You stinky woman! Shameless!" Xu Ruoying struggled on Feng Lin's shoulder. "Shut up!" Feng Lin put Xu Ruoying in the yard, stuffed soy milk and buns into her arms, then went back into their house and locked the door. "Feng Lin, I don't know why she is so angry." Lan Ru lowered her head pitifully. "There's something wrong with her." Feng Lin opened his portion of buns and invited with a smile, "Would you like to eat?" "You're welcome." Lan Ru nodded. "Feng Lin, you're such a big stupid pig. You didn't even know you were cheated." Xu Ruoying was still outside, shouting at the window, eating a bun and drinking soy milk from time to time. "Feng Lin, I care a lot." After eating a bun, Lan Ru asked in a low voice, "What is your relationship with her?" "I said before that I am very traditional." "Okay, I'll tell you the truth. We've known each other since we were young. Her parents asked her to marry Song Keming, so she asked me to pretend to be her boyfriend temporarily." Feng Lin explained seriously. "Oh. So we've known each other since childhood." Lan Ru smiled and nodded. It seemed that they were childhood sweethearts. However, judging from Xu Ruoying's appearance, she should like Feng Lin. After the two of them had eaten, Feng Lin opened the door. Xu Ruoying rushed in immediately. "Stop. I'm going out with Miss Lan. You stay home alone." Feng Lin interrupted Xu Ruoying and left with Lan Ru. Lan Ru grabbed Feng Lin's hand, turned around and blinked at Xu Ruoying. "This is a wordless mockery. You." Xu Ruoying's fingers were shaking with anger. It was still Lan Ru's domestic car. Feng Lin sat in the passenger seat while Lan Ru drove away. The corners of her mouth curled up from time to time. She didn't expect to see Xu Ruoying's helpless and furious look. "I have to say, it's really beautiful. It seems that we need to communicate more in the future." The Lan family does not live in the wealthy area of the East District, their home is in the LC area. There is a manor here. They have lived here for a long time. At that time, the eastern district of Jiang City had not yet been built. Lan Ru parked the car in the parking space outside the manor and got out with Feng Lin. Lead Feng Lin inside. The security guards standing guard all stood straight as swords and did not greet Lan Ru. Feng Lin nodded secretly. The security here was much higher level than that of Xu's family. On the lawn not far away, a white-haired old man was lying in a rocking chair. There was a large parasol next to him and a small wooden table. There is a cup of wolfberry water on top. "Grandpa. I brought Feng Lin here." Lan Ru walked over with a smile. The old man stood up from the rocking chair, looked at Feng Lin, and nodded secretly. "Xiao Ru, there is nothing for you to do here." "Grandpa. What do you want to talk about? It's so mysterious." Lan Ru coquettishly hugged Lan his arm. "Let's talk about men." Lan he gently patted Lan Ru's shoulder, "Be obedient." Lan Ru nodded and walked into the manor, not forgetting to look back at Feng Lin. Feng Lin, codenamed Death Doctor, is a member of a special department of the National Secret Army, Wujie, and is also the youngest person in Wujie. "I once founded my own organization, named Dead Knight, Number 1. Lan he saw Lan Ru leaving, picked up the wolfberry water, and drank it while talking to himself. Feng Lin's pupils shrank, and he asked calmly, "Did my father tell you?" "No, I have 3 sons. The eldest used to work in the Secret Legion as the minister of the 3rd department, and the second is the deputy minister." Lan he explained with a smile. The third department. The destroyed department. Feng Lin asked. Not bad. Fortunately, the third child likes business, and Lan Ru is the third child's only daughter. Lan He put down the cup and continued, I used to be a member of the first department of the Secret Legion, which is the intelligence department, but I retired. That's such a coincidence. I, too, disbanded Dead Knight and am now retired. Feng Lin sat on the fence of the garden next to him, smiling and spreading his hands. You are still young. Lan He said lightly. I know, but the task completed is equivalent to 100 Secret Legion elites doing it for 100 years. There is no exaggeration in Feng Lin's words. Pinshuk. For normal top-level tasks, latency is calculated in years. Some people only complete 3 or 4 top-level tasks in their lifetime. Facing Feng Lin's Death Knight, those tasks can be completed in 1 or 2 months at the slowest, and 3 days at the fastest. Har, let's not talk about that. How is my granddaughter? Lan He changed the subject and asked with a smile. It feels good. Feng Lin finally understood why Lan Ru had known for a long time that she had a fiancé. Because her family knew his past identity. That's good. I also think you two are a good match. Lan He nodded. Xiao Ru has always liked to make trouble since she was a child. She applied to me before and wanted to join the Secret Legion. You did this on purpose? Feng Lin asked with a frown. No, I wanted to refuse at first, but when I thought about your engagement, I thought it was a good idea. She will definitely be safe with you protecting her. Lan He lay back down in the rocking chair, rocking gently. You didn't force her? Feng Lin asked. No, don't worry. She is from the first department and usually just collects intelligence. She is relatively safe. Lan He explained. Feng Lin breathed a sigh of relief, feeling as if he had been tricked. He stood up with his hands in his trouser pockets. Do me a favor first. Speak. Lan He said with a smile. Put pressure on the Shu family and temporarily make their business a little uncomfortable. Feng Lin felt that it would be better to resolve Shu Ruoying's issue first. Simple. Lan He nodded. At 6 o'clock in the afternoon, Xu Chuan and Wang Qin sat in front of their notebooks, studying the 300 million contract. Wang Qin smiled happily. With the Zhu family's 300 million orders, she could also take the opportunity to cling to the Zhu family's thighs. If Xu Ruoying marries Song Keming again, she can get another 300 million orders. By then, with the help of the 2 major families, the Xu family may become a new big family. At this moment, Xu Chuan's cell phone suddenly rang. He took it out and looked at it, then asked calmly, What's wrong? Mr. Xu, the Ministry of Commerce suddenly stopped approving our documents. If we can't deliver on time, we will have to pay a large amount of liquidated damages. There was a voice coming from the phone. What? What happened? Xu Chuan asked hurriedly. I don't know. I'm trying to understand the situation. Check it out quickly. Notify me immediately if you have any news. Xu Chuan said and hung up the phone. Chapter 16 I'll fight you. Wang Qin saw Xu Chuan's nervous expression and asked hurriedly, What happened? It's the Ministry of Commerce's business. They have stopped approving many of our products. If we can't deliver on time, we can't afford the penalty. Xu Chuan opened the contact information on his phone, found the phone number of Jiang City's Ministry of Commerce, and called it immediately. He turned on the speakerphone, put the phone on the table, and continued to ask the company's main manager through their computer's chat tool. See what happened? Hello. A middle-aged man's voice came from the other end of the phone. Mr. Liu, this is Xu Chuan. Xu Chuan quickly picked up the phone and said with a smile, I heard that your Ministry of Commerce suddenly stopped approving. I want to ask what happened. Stop the approval process. Who told you that? Our approval process is still ongoing, but we are being inspected by our superiors and we need to study the documents carefully. The process is just slow. Mr. Liu on the other side calmly explained, I'm busy. I'll hang up now. Having said this, the person on the other end hung up the phone. This. Xu Chuan called his assistant again, I asked, and they said that the higher-ups are going to check, so the progress has been slow. Mr. Xu. No, I just learned that only our group has a slow approval process. The rest of the companies are all in normal condition. The assistant continued, not only that, We just received news that all the documents that we had approved have been taken away, and they said they would conduct a re-investigation. Xu Chuan and Wang Qin looked at each other. This was obviously aimed at their company. What exactly happened? Xu Chuan hung up the phone with a gloomy face. If the people from the Ministry of Commerce were to trip them up, the blow would be much greater than that to the Song family. Faced with the Song family's business threats, they at least have room to resist, and at worst they can cling to other families. Thinking of other families, Xu Chuan immediately stared at the contract in front of him. Zhu family. No matter what, the Xu family and the Zhu family are partners now, so it will definitely be possible to let them come forward. Xu Chuan found the phone number reserved on the document and called it immediately. Hello. A middle-aged man's voice came from the other side. Mr. Wang? I'm Xu Chuan. I just signed a 300 million yuan contract with you. Stop. Wang Hai interrupted Xu Chuan and said, Mr. Xu, I have very high standards for words. Please be careful with your wording. The person who signed the contract with me is Miss Xu Ruoying. But Xu Ruoying is my daughter. Xu Chuan's face turned pale. But you are not Xu Ruoying. The contract clearly states that the person I signed the contract with is Miss Xu Ruoying personally. If you have any questions about the contract, please let her contact me. After Wang Hai finished speaking, he hung up the phone. Xu Chuan and Wang Qin were both stunned. In other words, without Xu Ruoying, the 300 million yuan contract would be just a pile of waste paper. Hubby. Is it that the Zhu family is angry and putting pressure on the Ministry of Commerce? Wang Qin's face also looked a little abnormal. No. Although Zhu Qian is powerful, he definitely cannot influence the Ministry of Commerce. Otherwise, their group's financial strength would have long been number one in Jiang City. Xu Chuan was a little anxious. He grabbed his hair and walked back and forth. What should we do? If the funds cannot flow and we cannot pay our employees, we will eventually go bankrupt. Wang Qin was so frightened that she started to tremble. She couldn't stand the poor life. Send someone to find Xiaoyin immediately. Xu Chuan said sternly. Feng Lin and Lan Hai chatted for a while and then prepared to leave. Lan Ru hurried out from a villa in the distance and served as Feng Lin's driver. Sending Feng Lin away was secondary, she mainly wanted to play with Niu Niu. Speaking of which, Xu Ruoying has been very stubborn since she was a child. She would not beg for mercy even when she was pinned to the ground and beaten. I went to school with her for so long and we lived in the same villa area. It was the first time I saw her being humiliated. Lan Ru likes this feeling very much. Feng Lin sat in the passenger seat again, supporting his chin with one hand. He originally wanted to ask why Lan Ru wanted to join the Secret Legion. Later I thought about it and decided to give up since I had only known Lan Ru for one day. It's not appropriate to ask such private questions now. Feng Lin, what did you and Grandpa talk about? I haven't seen Grandpa so happy in a long time. Lan Ru asked with a smile. It's just some casual talk. My dad is a good friend of your grandfather. Feng Lin did not tell her the truth. If he really decided to get married in the future, it would not be too late to tell her. When they got back to their home, Feng Lin got out of the car first and invited Lan Ru, why don't you come in and chat? I am afraid of making Xu Ruoying angry. Lan Ru lowered her head in grievance. Get out of the car. What are you afraid of? If she dares to scold you again, I will beat her up. Feng Lin took the initiative to open the car door. Kindness. Lan Ru nodded and got out of the car. The two returned to the room, and Tang Hong from opposite door had not returned yet. Feng Lin arrived at the room first and found Xu Ruoying watching TV. I saw Feng Lin coming back with Lan Ru. Xu Ruoying stood up angrily. Her original plan was to ask Zhu Ziying to bring her marriage certificate while Feng Lin was away. But remembering that everyone in the Xu family must have been keeping an eye on Zhu Ziying, he gave up. Sit. Feng Lin turned around and smiled at Lan Ru. Lan Ru put her hands in front of her and stood in front of Xu Ruoying stiffly. If there was any misunderstanding between us, I apologize to you. While speaking, he did not forget to wink at Xu Ruoying with a mocking smile. You are pretending. Xu Ruoying cursed viciously. Xu Ruoying. Do you think I don't dare to teach you a lesson? Feng Lin walked over and pointed at Xu Ruoying. What? You dare to hit me? Come on. Hit me in the face. Xu Ruoying leaned forward and pointed at her cheek and shouted. Bang! Feng Lin slapped him. Xu Ruoying's face immediately turned red. She covered her buttocks with her hands, full of shame and anger. You dare. It's quite elastic, isn't it? Feng Lin said with a smile. You. Damn Feng Lin, I'm going to fight you. Xu Ruoying lunged forward, bumped into Feng Lin, and threw him onto the sofa. What are you doing? Stop it, let go. Lan Ru stood behind Xu Ruoying and twisted her butt hard. Arr! Xu Ruoying suddenly cried out in pain, climbed up from Feng Lin, and was about to grab Lan Ru's hair. You dare to pinch me? Who pinched you? Lan Ru looked innocent. Where did they pinch you? Feng Lin grabbed Xu Ruoying's shoulders and held her down on the sofa. If you don't like me, just say it. Why are you framing me? Where did I pinch you? Let Feng Lin see. Lan Ru wiped her eyes pitifully. How could Xu Ruoying let Feng Lin look there? But with her personality, she couldn't pretend to cry like Lan Ru. She felt more and more aggrieved and ran out quickly. Xu Ruoying. Feng Lin immediately caught up. Lan Ru pushed her glasses down with a smile and followed him out. Xu Ruoying's speed was definitely not faster than Feng Lin's. With only a distance of more than 100 meters between them, Feng Lin grabbed her arm. Let me go. Play with your gentle big sister. Xu Ruoying's face was cold and she shook her arms vigorously. Chapter 17: How to make a man fall in love with you quickly. Stop joking and get down to business. Feng Lin began to change the subject in his most familiar way. If nothing unexpected happens, it won't be long before your family will beg you to come back. Bar. Stop changing the subject. Although Xu Ruoying said this, she was still very curious because her parents had already called. Feng Lin also laughed when he found Xu Ruoying calmed down. It seems that you want to know the reason. It was me who asked Lan Ru to ask her grandfather for help. Lan Ru's grandfather. Xu Ruoying thought of the old man. To be honest, she went to school because of Lan Ru's identity. Many people fawned on her. Yes, her grandfather asked the Ministry of Commerce to put pressure on her. The purpose of Feng Lin saying this was to make Xu Ruoying change her opinion of Lan Ru. No wonder my dad said that. Xu Ruoying nodded secretly, then she stared at Feng Lin and shook off Feng Lin's hand. What's wrong? Am I not good to you? I have been doing what I promised you before. Feng Lin looked somewhat helpless. Do you want to end things quickly, divorce me, and go find Lan Ru? Xu Ruoying pursed her lips and asked lightly. Yes, I want to end your affairs as soon as possible. We are not familiar with each other, and it is not good for both of us to have a marriage certificate hanging on it. Feng Lin said this and explained with a smile, don't worry, I have an acquaintance. After we get divorced, you will be shown as unmarried, not divorced. Xu Ruoying stared at Lan Ru who was standing in the distance, but her heart was racing. For some reason, she didn't want to break off her relationship with Feng Lin immediately. In particular, Feng Lin's future partner is Lan Ru. Give me your cell phone. Let me use it. Xu Ruoying stretched out her hand. There was nothing on Feng Lin's phone, so he showed it to Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying opened the address book and found that many people in it were represented by numbers. 2345, but she still found a phone number with the note, Dad. After clicking on it, Xu Ruoying wrote down the number and returned the phone to Feng Lin. Ask Lan Ru to come over, I'll talk to her. You should have done this earlier. Feng Lin nodded. While Feng Lin was away, Xu Ruoying immediately saved the number on her mobile phone. Lan Ru walked over from a distance, stood in front of Xu Ruoying, and said aggrievedly, I apologize to you for what happened before. Don't pretend, my phone didn't record it. Xu Ruoying turned her screen to Lan Ru and said, I'm not kidding now. I'm asking you something seriously. Explain. Lan Ru also returned to normal. Do you have any feelings for Feng Lin? To put it simply, are you with Feng Lin because you like him, or are you with him because you want to see me laugh? Xu Ruoying asked calmly. Are you kidding? I've only known him for less than a day. Lan Ru said with a frown. I'm about the same as you, but I think Feng Lin is good, I want to give it a try with him. Xu Ruoying wasn't quite sure what she was thinking, but she just didn't hate Feng Lin. I think this man can do it. Maybe they knew each other when they were kids. You mean to declare war on me, saying that Feng Lin is your man and asking me to stay away from him. Lan Ru gently adjusted her glasses. Yes, that's what I mean. Xu Ruoying straightened her body, showing off her proud figure. You can't compare to me. Have you heard of a saying? Big is justice. Interesting. Lan Ru's expression was calm, but she couldn't help but feel envious in her heart. I'll stop here. The reason I told you calmly is to thank you for asking your grandfather to put pressure on our Xu family. After Xu Ruoying finished speaking, she walked towards Feng Lin. Lan Ru narrowed her eyes into a line. Putting pressure on the Xu family? She never did. Since Xu Ruoying said so, it must be Feng Lin who told her. Lan Ru really couldn't understand why Feng Lin could get her grandfather to do things for him. When asked before, he refused to say. Looks like I need to force it. Feng Lin looked at the two people in the distance, and they should have put aside their past grudges. Feng Lin, let's go back. Xu Ruoying held Feng Lin's arm in her arms and walked inside. Feng Lin frowned and was hugged by her. He felt his body was out of control and followed Xu Ruoying's footsteps. Lan Ru secretly took a photo with her phone and followed with a smile. Feng Lin, since I brought you here, I'll go back first. Good. Feng Lin quickly broke free and turned around to say. After watching Lan Ru leave, Feng Lin shook his head and went back into their house. Let's discuss your situation. Your family members are all profit-oriented. In just 1 or 2 days, they will surely cry and beg you to come back. Feng Lin sat on the sofa, looked at Xu Ruoying and said, you can make your request then. Kindness. Xu Ruoying nodded absent-mindedly. She was staring at her mobile phone at the moment, searching for several questions. How to make a man fall in love with you quickly? I'm very beautiful, how can I make a straight man fall in love with me so much? When I meet a straight man, how can I give him hints without leaving any traces? At the same time, Lan Ru returned home and walked towards Lan He in the yard. Har har. You're back, girl. How do you feel about Feng Lin? Lan He asked with a smile. Not so good. Lan Ru pretended to be angry and took out her phone, opened the photos she had taken, and handed them to Lan He. Look, this is the fiancé you found for me. This Feng Lin, you really underestimated him. Lan He smiled and returned the phone to Lan Ru. Lan Ru said calmly, I want to break off the engagement with him. Okay, I agree. Lan He nodded. This, you agree now? Lan Ru was a little confused. How could she ask this? Yes, this is also for your safety. I said before that I don't agree with you joining the Secret Legion. The reason I agreed later was that Feng Lin would protect you. Lan He explained calmly, but his subtext was clear. If Lan Ru breaks off the engagement with Feng Lin, she won't be able to join the Secret Legion. So Feng Lin is from the Secret Legion, but what do you mean? Do I still need him to protect me? Lan Ru snorted coldly, with a look of disdain on her face. Do you know how many S-level missions your uncle and second uncle's 3rd division have carried out? Lan He suddenly asked. Of course I know. I performed S-level tasks 19 times and failed 4 times. I performed 2 S-level tasks 15 times and failed only 6 times. I performed 3 S-level tasks 4 times and failed 2 times. Lan Ru knew very well that it was because of their influence that she wanted to join the Secret Legion. The departments of her eldest uncle and second uncle are the elite among the elites in the combat group. Then do you know how many times Feng Lin's organization has carried out this operation? Lan He asked with a smile. How many? Could an S-level mission exceed 10 times? Lan Ru asked back, you know, S-level tasks are not something that ordinary people can perform. Level 3S missions have risen to the level of world security. Lan He closed his eyes, lying on the rocking chair and said, his organization has completed 0 S-level tasks, 0 2S level tasks, and 298 3S level tasks, with 1 failure. Lan Ru was still a little disdainful when she heard the previous words, but she was stunned when she heard the last part. P.S. Let me ask you a question. I am a straight man. How can I make a girl fall in love with me? Chapter 18 Traitor. Lan Ru didn't react for a long time. Suddenly, she exclaimed, Dead Knight. Only the legendary Dead Knight can do this. You know, Dead Knight had always maintained a victorious posture, but a year or 2 ago, Dead Knight failed a mission. Later, for some unknown reason, it suddenly disappeared. You guessed it right, Feng Lin is a member of Dead Knight. Lan He explained calmly. That guy Feng Lin is actually. Lan Ru was so excited that she couldn't express it in words. Number 1 in Dead Knight. The dead doctor is her idol. A godly man. Grandpa. What's Feng Lin's number? Lan Ru didn't look angry at all. She squatted beside Lan He, grabbed his arm and asked. I don't know, probably closer to the back, around 5, 6, or 7. Lan He's expression suddenly became serious. I'm telling you this because you're Feng Lin's fiancé. Remember, don't tell anyone, including your dad. I know. Lan Ru put her hands in front of her, with a crazy look on her face. If I marry Feng Lin, won't I be able to see my idol? Feng Lin must have a way to contact the dead doctor. Then, Lan Ru shook her head vigorously. No way. I am already Feng Lin's wife, so how can I still call another man my idol? I'm so confused. Lan Ru grabbed her hair and muttered to herself. Lan He shook his head slightly, lay back in the rocking chair and closed his eyes. Feng Lin sat on the sofa with his legs crossed, watching TV. Xu Ruoying was sitting next to him, and her cell phone rang every few minutes. If you find it annoying, just turn off your phone. Feng Lin knew without guessing that it must be her parents calling. How about we go back? Xu Ruoying asked tentatively. After all, they were still her parents. She was not heartless, so how could she be so ruthless? You are welcome to take a call first. Feng Lin said with a smile. Good. Xu Ruoying stared at her phone, and sure enough, 1 minute later, another call came in. It was Wang Qin. She took a deep breath and pressed the answer button. Hello. Xiaoying. My dear daughter, please come back. Mommy knows she was wrong. Please come back soon. Wang Qin was crying and her voice became hoarse. Why would I go back? I'm married to Feng Lin now. While Xu Ruoying was speaking, she secretly glanced at Feng Lin. Okay. Mom agrees. It's your freedom to marry whomever you want. I won't force you anymore. Wang Qin agreed on the spot. Come back soon. Okay. That's what you said. Xu Ruoying hung up the phone after she finished speaking. She smiled at Feng Lin and said, she agrees that I won't marry Song Keming. Congratulations. Feng Lin nodded. I'm going back now. Do you want to go with me? Xu Ruoying asked, standing up. No, seeing them affects my mood. Feng Lin shook his head and continued, go finish your work first, and then tell me the news about my mother. Xu Ruoying was slightly stunned, and she nodded slightly. Okay, then I'll go back first. After Feng Lin sent Xu Ruoying away, he sent a message to Lan He, telling him that the matter with the Xu family was over. He was lying on the sofa and had just stretched when he heard the sound of a car. Seal the forest. Lan Ru smiled as she pushed the door open and walked in quickly. She looked around and asked curiously, Nyo, where's Xu Ruoying? I've gone back. Her family affairs are almost over. Feng Lin replied. It's just as well that she's not here. Lan Ru sat on the sofa, looked at Feng Lin's face, and asked in a deep voice, are you from Dead Knight? Feng Lin was stunned. Lan He actually told her about this. Just look at your expression. What number are you? Grandpa said you might be at the back. What number are you? Lan Ru grabbed Feng Lin's arm excitedly. I am number 6. It seems that Lan He only told her that he was from Dead Knight, and did not reveal his true identity. So it's number 6. Do you have a way to contact the dead doctor? Is your number 1? Lan Ru asked. Feng Lin frowned, why are you looking for him? Feng Lin, you, don't be jealous. Actually, he is my idol, a true unsung hero. I just want to chat with him for a few minutes, that's all. Lan Ru raised 3 fingers and swore, I can swear that I will never do anything to let you down. Feng Lin sighed helplessly. His identity hadn't been confirmed yet and he was already saying such things. I can't contact him either. He disappeared after the disbandment of Death Knight. I heard he went abroad to relax. Feng Lin was talking about himself. If his father had not lied to him that he would not live long, he might still be abroad now. Can you tell me about him? I'm very interested. Lan Ru put her hands in front of her, looking like a crazy fan. As a person. He is very handsome, so handsome that it's hard to describe. He's tall and manly. In short, he's a perfect person. Feng Lin sighed deeply. I'm sorry, after living with him for so many years, I really can't find a single flaw in him. Wow! Lan Ru exclaimed and leaned back on the sofa, her eyes full of stars. Worthy of being an idol. Then, what happened back then? Why did he disband Dead Knight? Lan Ru asked again. Feng Lin looked into the distance. In fact, this matter was not a secret. The country and the top leaders of the secret army all knew about this. It's okay to tell you, but you have to keep it a secret. Don't worry. I swear. I won't tell anyone even if I die. Lan Ru raised 3 fingers again. Feng Lin took a deep breath and explained calmly, during the last 3S level mission, he found out that the number 3 of the Dead Knight was an undercover agent of the enemy. What? There are such people in the Dead Knight. Lan Ru covered her mouth in shock. Well, number 3 is the brain of Death Knight. She is very smart. All our mission plans were planned by her. She was once the person that Death Doctor trusted the most. Feng Lin nodded, his voice emitting a bone-chilling chill, but she is a traitor, and she stole almost all the intelligence of the Secret Legion, causing it to suffer heavy losses. Just now Feng Lin said that he was number 6, because number 6 had died in order to save the remaining members. He always felt that he was sorry for these people. It was all because of his indulgence and negligence that number 3 was able to steal the information so easily. The state did not punish him or even blame him. But he still didn't have the face to stay there any longer. Lan Ru also fell silent. No wonder Death Knight disbanded for no reason. Feng Lin, I'm here to introduce you to a job. Lan Ru noticed Feng Lin's cold expression and said with a smile, You don't have a job, do you? Can I be your teacher? Feng Lin raised his eyebrows, then smiled and nodded, Okay. I knew you would agree. You are from Dead Knight, so you must be very strong. You can be a physical education teacher. Lan Ru has already planned to contact Feng Lin. But she still had to make sure about Feng Lin's character. She was not a fool who would marry her off so easily. But I don't like sports. I can teach foreign languages. I am fluent in 8 languages. Feng Linjing said, looking at the message on his phone. He frowned slightly. I need to go to the Shu family. Chapter 19 My husband was kidnapped by his mistress. Shu family. Lan Ru was a little unhappy and muttered, It's Shu Ruoying again, right? Well, I am a man of my words. Besides, she hasn't given me the information I want yet. Feng Lin prepared to leave. Let me drive you there. Lan Ru stood up and said. Can. Feng Lin nodded. Feng Lin received a text message from Shu Ruoying, who told him that she was coming over because her parents wanted to see her. Under Lan Ru's leadership, Feng Lin came to Shu's house again. He jumped out of the car and waved at Lan Ru, Go back if you have nothing else to do. Why? Are you going to stay here overnight? Lan Ru opened the window and placed her arm on it. I'll wait for you here. I have to go to the school to handle the formalities later. Oh well. Feng Lin smiled awkwardly and turned to walk inside. This time, the security guards around did not stop Feng Lin because Shu Chuan and the others had already given their permission. After entering the villa, the Shu family of 3 were all sitting here. Seeing Feng Lin coming in, Shu Ruoying immediately stood up, pulled Feng Lin and asked him to sit next to her. Feng Lin, my wife and I have discussed this 300 million order carefully, and I think you have succeeded. Shu Chuan took out a cigarette from his pocket and looked at Feng Lin indifferently. Feng Lin sneered in his heart. If it weren't for Lan his help, they would never have surrendered so quickly. We will no longer interfere in Xiaoying's marriage. Shu Chuan suddenly raised a finger, but there is one thing, you must marry into our Shu family, and your child's surname must be Shu in the future. Marry into their wife's family. Feng Lin glanced at Shu Ruoying with a puzzled look on his face. What? You're still not happy? My daughter will be unlucky for the rest of her life if she marries a poor boy like you. Wang Qin stood up and pointed at Feng Lin and shouted. You won't say anything. Feng Lin was already used to Wang Qin's barking, he just looked at Shu Ruoying. What can I say? We've already got the certificate. If we cancel it now, we'll be divorced. Shu Ruoying stared at Feng Lin. Don't worry. I have an acquaintance who can help you become unmarried. Feng Lin said. What are you bragging about? My husband just called the people over there and they said the information has been uploaded to the national database and cannot be deleted. Wang Qin pointed at Feng Lin and said, otherwise, would I agree to my daughter marrying you? Mom! Stop talking. You all promised me just now. Xu Ruoying grabbed Feng Lin's hand and left. When the two of them arrived at the yard, Feng Lin said, your business is over. I want to know about my mother. I tried to recall a little bit, but I can't remember it clearly. Xu Ruoying let go of Feng Lin's hand, paused and said, two people came to our house at that time. Your mother chatted with them for a few words and then left with them. What do those two people look like? Feng Lin asked immediately, his breathing a little rapid. I can't remember. I need enough time. Xu Ruoying took Feng Lin's hand and walked towards the Mercedes-Benz next to them. You don't know where I live yet, right? I'll take you there and find you a job. No need, Lan Ru is outside. She has already introduced a job for me and asked me to be a teacher in the school. Feng Lin refused with a smile and walked out. Xu Ruoying gritted her teeth. That Lan Ru was planning to confront her head on. I clearly advised her to stay away from Feng Lin. But she was not in a hurry, since she and Lan Ru lived in the same villa area. Feng Lin will go back with her sooner or later. Feng Lin followed Lan Ru all the way to the school to handle the formalities. As for Feng Lin's occupation, he became an English teacher. Like Lan Ru, he is mainly responsible for the finance department. Feng Lin remembered that Tang Qianqian was here. But it's already afternoon, and Feng Lin can go to class tomorrow. By the way, you haven't been to my house yet. I'll take you there. Lan Ru took Feng Lin to a villa area on the outermost edge of the East District. The houses here are all small villas and cannot be compared with the manners like those in Lanhar. The Xu family's large villa is much more luxurious than this place. Feng Lin took a quick look and found that it was actually similar to his hometown in the countryside. A house plus a yard. But the price is worlds apart. Lan Ru parked her car in front of her house and found a Mercedes-Benz parked at the door. Looking at the license plate, it was Xu Ruoying's car. Xu Ruoying walked down from the driver's seat, went straight to the passenger seat, and knocked on the window a few times. Feng Lin opened the window and asked with a smile, why are you here? My home is right here. Xu Ruoying pointed at Feng Lin and shouted coldly, come home with me. Xu Ruoying, what exactly do you want to do? Lan Ru asked in a deep voice. Feng Lin is my man, you damn mistress, get out of here right now. Along the way, Xu Ruoying thought a lot and discovered that Lan Ru had a fatal weakness. Isn't she pretending to be gentle? Then she would be more ruthless. She believed that Lan Ru's temper would be exposed sooner or later. Xu Ruoying, don't make me angry. You and I are just partners. Feng Lin reminded. Get out of the car. Come back with me. Otherwise I will beat her up. Xu Ruoying pointed at Lan Ru and shouted. You dare. Feng Lin snorted coldly. Lan Ru glared at Xu Ruoying angrily and parked the car in the parking space in front of her villa. He got out of the car and took Feng Lin into her villa. Xu Ruoying followed Feng Lin closely. Get out. You are not welcome in my house. I am calling the police. Lan Ru looked at Xu Ruoying and said. Call the police. Feng Lin and I have obtained our marriage certificate. If you dare to call the police, I will tell them that I am here to look for my husband, and that he was kidnapped by his mistress. Xu Ruoying glanced at Lan Ru proudly. You? Lan Ru clenched her fists in anger. If Feng Lin wasn't here, she would have hit him already. Feng Lin, let's ignore her. Lan Ru opened the door of the villa, and the decoration inside was more sporty in style. There are many weapon decorations on the wall, such as bows and arrows, daggers, and so on. Feng Lin was not surprised. Since she chose to join the Secret Legion, she must have a strong heart under her gentle personality. This is more in line with Feng Lin's aesthetic. Lan Ru, get me a glass of water. Xu Ruoying put her hands in her trouser pockets and said lightly. Don't you have hands? Feng Lin frowned. I'm not talking to you. Xu Ruoying pushed Lan Ru hard and pushed her onto the sofa. Are you going or not? You? Lan Ru pointed at Xu Ruoying angrily and gritted her teeth in hatred. Xu Ruoying. Feng Lin grabbed her neck from behind, pressed her down on the sofa, and slapped her hard on the butt. Xu Ruoying's cheeks flushed instantly, but she said coldly, Feng Lin. Come if you have the guts. I tell you, I will treat Lan Ru the same way you treat me. After hearing this, Feng Lin did not continue fighting. He couldn't always stay with Lan Ru. Lan Ru next to her shouted in her heart, "Go ahead and hit me." She wouldn't dare to do this to herself in private. Humph. You don't dare anymore. Xu Ruoying sneered a few times. It seems that this plan is correct. According to Lan Ru's personality, she will explode sooner or later. Feng Lin, I also want to teach her a lesson. Lan Ru's eyes had turned red without her noticing, and tears were welling up in her eyes. Don't cry. Come, hit her hard, I'll help you hold her down. Feng Lin hurriedly comforted. Kindness. Lan Ru nodded. Chapter 20 All. Lan Ru felt a chill in her heart, but her expression was very aggrieved, and she patted him gently. No effort at all. Feng Lin was deeply moved. What a gentle woman. Hit hard. There's a lot of flesh in this area, it can't be damaged. Feng Lin reminded. Well, I really tried hard then. Lan Ru suddenly clenched her fists, raised the corners of her mouth slightly, and started punching Xu Ruoying. Bang bang bang, ar. Bastard. Xu Ruoying screamed in pain and struggled hard. Feng Lin, look at her. I told you she was pretending. This woman has a violent tendency. You forced me to do that. While Feng Lin was speaking, Lan Ru also stopped. Xu Ruoying stared at Feng Lin coldly. Although it hurt a little, it was fortunate that it was a woman who hit her. She didn't react that much. But he still felt aggrieved and pinched the soft flesh on Feng Lin's waist hard. Stop. Feng Lin said hurriedly, there's someone at the door. After hearing this, Lan Ru stood up and looked towards the distant window. Sure enough, she saw a woman standing in front of her house. It was none other than Zhu Ziying. She opened the door of the villa and asked, Zhu Ziying, what's the matter? Ing. When Xu Ruoying heard her coming, she immediately let go of Feng Lin and walked outside. She pulled Zhu Ziying in and stood in front of Feng Lin. Ing. Tell her what kind of person Lan Ru is. Don't say anything. You are in the same group. Don't think I don't know. Feng Lin gently rubbed his waist, stood up from the sofa, looked at Lan Ru and said, I'll go back first. I'll go to work tomorrow morning. Okay, I'll take you back. Lan Ru said with a smile. No need, you finally got home, there's no need to go out again. Feng Lin declined politely. Feng Lin, my home is at the end of this street. I'll take you there. Xu Ruoying invited. Need not. Feng Lin smiled and shook his head. He planned to take a good walk around the area and familiarize himself with the environment. In the past few years, many new areas have been established in Jiang City, and even until now, the routes have been unfamiliar to everyone since the forest was closed. Seeing Feng Lin leave, the villa fell into silence. Lan Ru. I warned you last time, but you left then, right? Why are you here again? Xu Ruoying questioned. Feng Lin is my fiancé, and my grandfather is very satisfied with Feng Lin. What does it have to do with you if Feng Lin and I are close? Lan Ru crossed her arms and glanced at Xu Ruoying with disdain. You vixen, you mistress. Feng Lin and I are married. Xu Ruoying cursed coldly. Feng Lin is not here now. Do you think I can't cure you? Lan Ru took off her glasses and asked calmly. Do you really think I'm afraid of you? Xu Ruoying rushed towards Lan Ru without saying a word. Lan Ru grabbed Xu Ruoying and threw her over her shoulder onto the sofa. Bang! Xu Ruoying's single ponytail was untied, and her smooth black hair became messy. Xiaoyin, are you okay? Seeing this, Zhu Ziying hurried over. I'm fine. Xu Ruoying felt a little dizzy. She held her forehead. She didn't expect Lan Ru to be so strong now. I'm not afraid to tell you that when I was in high school, I trained in the military zone. Now my combat power is enough to fight against 2 special forces soldiers. Lan Ru put her hands on her hips and looked at Xu Ruoying calmly. In Lan Ru's view, Xu Ruoying now is just like a fight between elementary school students, relying solely on brute force. No skill at all. What's more, she couldn't match Lan Ru in terms of pure brute force. I'm telling you, I'm just not feeling well today. When I recover, I'll definitely teach you a lesson. Xu Ruoying pulled Zhu Ziying away. She remembered what her grandfather had told her, took out her cell phone, and found the cell phone number of Feng Lin's father. Feng Lin strolled around until dusk and then returned home. I found out that Tang Hong had returned. Auntie, how's your job search going? Tang Hong was washing clothes in the yard. Feng Lin walked over and asked with a smile. Hey, I found a few, but the salary is a bit low. I'll look for more in the next few days. Tang Hong raised her head and said. Feng Lin was just about to speak when he heard his father calling. Feng Lin frowned slightly, answered the phone, and walked to his room. What's wrong? Are you married to Xu Ruoying? Feng Chen's voice came over. It was a fake marriage. She knew my mother's whereabouts. I helped her through the difficult times and she told me what happened back then. Feng Lin sat on the sofa and said with a faint smile. What did you find out? Feng Chen asked. She couldn't remember clearly, but there were two people who chatted with my mom for a few words and then left together. Feng Lin said into the phone. This daughter-in-law is good. I am very satisfied with her. She can give birth to a son. Otherwise, let's take her. Feng Chen laughed over there. No, I prefer gentle people. I think Lan Ru is a good choice. Feng Lin answered while picking his ear. Lan his granddaughter? With a military background, she must be a strict person. I'm very satisfied with her. Otherwise, let's go with Lan Ru. Feng Chen said again. Which one do you want me to choose? Do you think Tang Qianqian is also good? Feng Lin asked with a frown. Tang Qianqian? She's young and beautiful, younger than you, and a very family-oriented girl next door. Damn, she's not bad. Feng Chen muttered over there, I'm suffering from selective phobia, I might as well take them all. Shut up, I'll handle this myself, why are you calling? Feng Lin rolled his eyes and said that he didn't know who to choose. You should know Xu Ruoying's meridians. She is very suitable to be a warrior. Give her more guidance. I owe the Xu family a favor. Feng Chen hung up the phone after he finished speaking. Oh, trouble. Feng Lin shook his head slightly. The next morning, Feng Lin took Tang Qianqian's electric bike to school again. Feng Lin didn't tell her that he was going to be a teacher. Until, under the leadership of Lan Ru, he came to Tang Qianqian's finance class 6. Let me introduce you all. This is your new counselor and English teacher. Lan Ru stood on the podium with a smile, pointing at Feng Lin and saying, he studied abroad for many years. Tang Qianqian was dumbfounded. How could someone like Feng Lin study abroad for so many years? Go study abroad in Africa? Feng Lin glanced at the crowd below, there were probably only about 20 or 30 people. Finance class 6 is the last class, and the number of students here is extra. Tang Qianqian sat in the second row, near the aisle. There are only 5 men in the class, the rest are all women. Feng Lin, I leave it to you. Lan Ru patted Feng Lin's shoulder and turned to leave. Feng Lin sat on the podium, propped up his cheek with one hand, and looked at the people below. Ask me if you have any questions first. Teacher. Do you have a girlfriend? A woman with dyed brown hair asked. Suddenly, a woman's laughter was heard in the class. You have no chance, just give up. Feng Lin crossed his legs and spoke in English. Stop talking nonsense, I don't understand. A yellow-haired guy with earrings in the last row shouted indifferently. The class, which had been lively and cheerful, suddenly fell silent. Feng Lin was just about to say something when he saw a man walking down the stairs. Song Fan. It's him again. It seemed like he wanted to warn himself. Brother, what's your name? Why are you so arrogant? Feng Lin asked with a smile. Of course I am. The rubber track in the school playground was donated by my father. You can call me Master Zhang like other teachers. Zhang Haoqian said calmly. So you are the young master. I didn't expect you to be a gigolo. Feng Lin grinned. Puff. The class, which had been completely silent, suddenly burst into laughter. Chapter 21, Sniper at the Middle Gate. Zhang Haoqian slammed the table and glanced around gloomily. Is it so funny? The remaining 4 men also stood up and pointed at the people in front. What a laugh. Shut the fuck up. Zhang Haoqian stood up and walked towards the podium. He took out his cell phone, stared at Feng Lin and said, You scolded me just now, didn't you? Wait for yours first. Feng Lin suddenly raised his hand and looked out the door. come in, why are you hiding outside? Everyone in the class followed Feng Lin's gaze and looked towards the door. Songfan outside thought for a moment and walked in with a smile. Wow! It's teacher Songfan. So handsome. It's a pity that he doesn't teach in our grade. When the many women in the class saw Songfan come in, many of them had infatuated looks on their faces. Everyone in the school knew Songfan's identity. This is a typical rich second generation. Women in college are different from those in junior high and high school. Their minds are mature. In junior high and high school, many women admire men who are attractive because of their personal charm. As long as you are handsome, can play basketball, and are good at playing games, girls will like you as long as you have one of these strengths. Most men who are confessed to by girls are in this age group. But university is different, personal charm is not the first priority. The one with money is the boss. Because people are mature, being handsome doesn't mean you can buy a house or a car. Songfan came to school in a sports car worth millions, which is money that most people cannot earn in their entire lifetime. Besides, Songfan is not ugly, who wouldn't he want to marry a man like him? Har har, hello, my name is Songfan. I'm Feng Lin, teacher Song, how do you educate students like this? Feng Lin asked with preconceived ideas. The last time I had dinner with Lan Ru and encountered that group of thugs, it was his doing. The logic couldn't be simpler. His purpose was to get himself away from Lan Ru. This time, he must have been the one secretly instigating the incident. Songfan couldn't say anything. He was hiding there, waiting for the two of them to have a conflict. Then he stood up, took the moral high ground, and criticized Feng Lin. According to his popularity, many women in this class will definitely stand on his side. When the time comes, report this to the dean and Feng Lin will definitely be fired. Now I don't know what to say. Zhang Haoqian suddenly grabbed Feng Lin by the collar and shouted angrily, "Why did you scold me just now?" That's right. Teacher Song, the new guy just now scolded young Master Zhang. We all heard it. The insults were awful and insulting. Several men sitting in the last row stood up and spoke. Songfan was delighted. This Zhang Haoqian still had some brains. He frowned and looked at Feng Lin. Teacher Feng Lin, why are you insulting your students? Tang Qianqian, who was reading a book with her head down, sighed deeply. What a ridiculous Feng Lin. The new students all offend the big shots. Songfan and Zhang Haoqian are both rich men, so dealing with Feng Lin, a pauper, is like a piece of cake for them. But it would be wrong for me not to help. Teacher Song, it was Zhang Haoqian who scolded this teacher for no reason. Tang Qianqian stood up and said. Feng Lin immediately gave Tang Qianqian a look of gratitude. Tang Qianqian curled her lips and sat down again. I admit I was a little harsh, but he insulted my character and called me a duck. Zhang Haoqian pointed at Feng Lin, as if he wanted to fight with Feng Lin. As he was speaking, an older, short teacher walked through the door. He wore black framed glasses, had very small eyes, and his hair was bald like a Mediterranean sea. He saw Songfan and Zhang Haoqian were both here, and immediately walked in flatteringly, Teacher Song, what happened? Director Liu Zhu, you're here just in time. Songfan turned his head and winked at Liu Zhu, I still have classes, I'll leave things here to you. He was not a fool. He had been acting aggressively all the time, and when Lan Ru heard about it, he was the one who suffered. Liu Zhu nodded in understanding. He is the deputy director of the finance department. Songfan and Zhang Haoqian often invited him to dinner, so he naturally knew which side he was on. Director Liu, this new teacher scolded me very harshly. Zhang Haoqian pointed at Feng Lin and said with cold eyes. How dare you insult students? What do you teach? Why have I never seen you before? Liu Zhu questioned Feng Lin. I teach English and today is my first day at work. Feng Lin grinned. You teach English? Don't you know? Am I the one teaching English to several first-year finance classes? Liu Zhu stood with his hands behind his back, with an air of a superior. But it's normal, a level higher can crush people. Any teacher who sees him as the deputy director would be respectful. Feng Lin shook his head and said, I don't know about that. It was arranged by the vice president. Vice Dean. What level of English certificate do you have? Liu Zhu asked. I don't have a certificate. How dare you mislead students without a certificate? Who gave you the courage? Who? Liu Zhu was still fiddling with his English. Maybe I'm better at English than you. Since the other party was not polite to him, Feng Lin had no need to indulge him. Do you know who I am? I have lived abroad for more than 10 years. Your English is better than mine? Are you okay? Liu Zhu's face was full of disdain. He didn't dare to say anything else, but he was quite confident in English. He had no communication barriers with those foreigners. Then let's compete to see whose English is better. Feng Lin said with a faint smile. If you are carrying out missions around the world but don't know the local language and can't integrate into the local environment, what is the point of carrying out the mission? He is fluent in 8 languages, both in writing and with different accents. If it comes to simple communication, Feng Lin can speak 15 different languages. Tang Qianqian covered her face helplessly. Feng Lin was really asking for trouble. There are several foreign teachers in the school, and they all say that Liu Zhu's English is very standard. How can Feng Lin, who studied abroad in Africa, be compared with Liu Zhu? Your name is Feng Lin, right? If your English is better than Director Liu's, I will apologize to you. If not, just resign. Do you dare? Zhang Haoqian said to Feng Lin that at the beginning, several foreign teachers in the academy did not speak Chinese well, and it was Liu Zhu who communicated with them. Song Fan had said before that his goal was to drive Feng Lin away. The Song family is one of the 4 major families, and Zhang Haoqian's father specifically explained it. You must please Song Fan at school. Okay. I agree. What do you think, how should we compete? Feng Lin asked. It's simple. Follow me to the academy's broadcast room. We'll each recite a passage, and then the foreign teachers will judge it. After Liu Zhu finished speaking, he led the way. Feng Lin followed him with a smile. This Feng Lin. What a fool. He is going to lose the job he finally found. Tang Qianqian clenched her fists secretly, but she couldn't help at all. Comparing English with teacher Liu Zhu is really asking for trouble. Come on, let's go and see what's going on. The counselors are all there anyway. Several girls around also started to make a noise. Tang Qianqian watched everyone go out. She hesitated for a moment and followed them out. Just then, a familiar voice came from the radio. It's Liu Zhu. His speech was the very famous, "I have a dream." Everyone stood outside the broadcasting room, listening quietly. Soon, a blonde white man came from the distance. She looked up at the speaker, nodded secretly, and said in not very standard Chinese, "Teacher Liu Zhu's English is getting better and better." It's over. The foreigners all agree. Tang Qianqian sighed deeply. At this moment, Liu Zhu ended his speech. Feng Lin's voice came over, it was also, "I have a dream." This is going to be a sniper fight through the middle door. Chapter 22, Brutal Measures. A deep and magnetic voice came from the college loudspeaker. Following closely is this very famous, "I have a dream." It is in front of his statue that we gather today, and this solemn declaration is like a beacon of light. It brought hope to the millions of black slaves who were suffering in the fire of injustice that destroyed their lives. It comes like a dawn of joy, ending the long night of bondage. Feng Lin's voice was very high-pitched, and his tone changed after every sentence. The white female teacher next to her had her eyes wide open and her jaw almost dropped to the ground. At the same time, a lot of people gathered here. Several foreign teachers from the college all gathered around and looked up at the loudspeaker. Not only them, but also Vice Dean Lan Ru, followed the voice and stood here. Vice Dean. Hello, Teacher Lan. Several foreign teachers and many students around all greeted Lan Ru. She is a goddess-level person in the academy. Tang Qianqian couldn't help but take a few more glances. Feng Lin must be dreaming when he said Lan Ru was his fiancée. She is so beautiful and gentle, and she is a person of superior family background and position. Unless her family members were blind, they would not let her marry Feng Lin. However, for some reason, she always felt that Feng Lin's accent was very similar to the voices in the American movies she often watched. No Chinese accent at all. Finally, Feng Lin's speech ended. The several foreign teachers here all applauded enthusiastically. The students around also applauded. The door of the broadcasting room opened, and Feng Lin walked out with his hands in his pockets, looking very confident. Liu Zhu and Zhang Haoqian also followed out. It seems that all the foreign teachers are here. Let's let the teachers judge. Feng Lin walked towards the teachers here and said with a smile, "Please give some comments." "Dude, was it you who just spoke?" A white man grabbed Feng Lin's arm. "Yes, it's me." Feng Lin nodded. "I thought you were a voice actor from our country, you're so awesome." Caucasian man giving thumbs up. "Why is he stronger? Is my pronunciation not standard?" Liu Zhu's expression looked a little unnatural. "Director Liu, your pronunciation is already very standard, but I can still tell at once that you are not a local." "Yeah. This teacher is totally unrecognizable. Not only that, he just used an Eastern US accent, as well as a Southern accent. He even used a London accent. I thought he was from my hometown. He spoke more standard English than I do." The foreign teachers here had no idea what was going on and all explained with a smile. The many students around, especially those in Feng Lin's class who knew the whole story, all were so shocked that they were speechless. This teacher is so amazing. His speech is more standard than that of local people. Tang Chenqian couldn't believe it. She didn't expect Feng Lin's accent to be so accurate. As a top student, she had looked up a lot of information to learn English. The English spoken in the United States is actually similar to Mandarin Chinese. Although they all speak Mandarin, people from every province have an accent to a greater or lesser extent. I didn't expect Feng Lin's English to reach such a level. Feng Lin turned around with a smile, stretched out his hand, and gestured 1 centimeter to Liu Zhu. "It seems that I am indeed a little bit better than Director Liu." Liu Zhu's face turned pale and he left with a flick of his sleeves. Zhang Haoqian was also ready to leave. "Stop, are you apologizing?" Feng Lin grabbed Zhang Haoqian's shoulders from behind. "I'm not old yet, and my memory is not that bad." Zhang Haoqian gritted his teeth secretly. There were too many people here, so it was not suitable for fooling around. He turned around quickly and said, "I'm sorry." After saying this, he immediately trotted away with a sinister look in his eyes. "Feng Lin, you are worthy of me." When Lan Rugang heard Feng Lin say that he was fluent in 8 languages, she thought he was bragging. Now it seems that it is most likely true. But if you think about it carefully, it makes sense. According to rumors, number 1 and number 2 of Dead Knight are the strongest. Feng Lin had said before that number 3 was the brain of Dead Knight, equivalent to a strategist. Feng Lin, the number 6 at the back, is probably not good at fighting, but in other aspects. Feng Lin said jokingly, "Just average, 3rd in the village." From a distance, Song Fan's face became increasingly cold as he watched the two people being intimate. He picked up his cell phone and made a call. "It seems that ordinary thugs can't hurt him. We should use some ruthless measures. His brother knows a lot of people who do dirty things, so he must have a way." Song Fancheng drove his sports car to their high-end restaurant owned by the Song family. Song Keming was standing here waiting. He saw the sports car, walked over and opened the passenger door. "Brother, what's the matter?" Song Keming closed the car door and asked with a smile. "Help me get rid of this person. You know, my father asked me to pursue Lan Ru, but Cheng Yao Jin showed up halfway." Song Fan took out his cell phone and opened the photo album, which contained Feng Lin's photo. "Fuck! It's him?" Song Keming almost jumped up. "Why? Do you know him?" Song Fan frowned. "Brother, do you know Xu Ruoying?" Song Keming asked. Song Fan nodded. Of course he knew that her appearance was comparable to Lan Ru's. But in many cases, identity and background can also play a role in adding points. It's like 2 equally beautiful women, one dressed simply and the other wearing a crown. Men of some status who have no shortage of women will choose the one wearing the crown. Such women are more difficult to conquer, and you will feel a sense of accomplishment only when you catch them. "I was about to get you ruined, but this kid Feng Lin got in the way." Song Keming clenched his fists viciously. "Fuck. This kid is against us, brothers, what can you do?" Song Fan didn't expect that all the women that Feng Lin and his 2 brothers liked were related to each other. "Brother, I got some drugs from my friend." Song Keming took out a bag of dark yellow powder from his pocket. "I'm going to get you ruined first. Do you want some too?" "No. Lan Ru's identity is not comparable to that of Xu Ruoying. If her family knows, our Song family will be doomed." Song Fan shook his head, he still knew what was right. The Xu family cannot afford to offend the Song family, so they may choose to swallow their anger in the end. The Lan family is different. Brother, I will also invite Feng Lin this time. While he is unconscious, I will find a woman to send to him. What will Lan Ru think if she knows about this? Pin Shuk. Song Keming showed a meaningful smile. You kid. I'm really not as good as you when it comes to crooked ideas. Song Fan smiled and hugged Song Keming, his eyes narrowed. Find another man, pretend to be that woman's boyfriend, catch the stolen goods, and let a reporter report it. Oh no. Brother, your crooked idea is not bad. The two brothers looked at each other and smiled. Feng Lin only teaches one class, and there is only one English class that day. He finally made it to the afternoon school. I originally planned to take Tang Qianqian's electric car back, but I received a call from Xu Ruoying. What's wrong? Feng Lin answered the call. Song Keming said he wanted to talk to us, and I agreed. Xu Ruoying said that she also wanted to tell Song Keming in person that it was impossible for them to do so and asked him to let the Xu family go. Song Keming. Feng Lin frowned. He didn't know the relationship between Song Keming and Song Fan. But since it was still Xu Ruoying's business, he naturally had to go and take a look. Okay, come to the school to pick me up. Chapter 23, Drugs in the Wine. Feng Lin stood alone at the school gate. Suddenly, he leaned sideways to avoid someone's hand. Looking back, I found that it was a cute girl with twin ponytails and she was a little short. She is less than 1.6 meters tall and looks like a little loli. Feng Lin had seen this person before. He was the student he was currently in charge of, sitting in the corner of the first row by the window. When Feng Lin and Zhang Haoqian had an unpleasant experience, she was always looking at her phone. During the lecture, she was also wearing headphones and watching the video. Feng Lin deliberately looked at the other person's name, which was Jiu Juo. But he did not remind them, just like when he was training those new recruits in the Secret Legion. Feng Lin will never remind anyone who is lazy, because such people will be eliminated sooner or later. Do you have eyes at the back of your head? Can you see this? Jiu Juo looked up in surprise. It's just an instinctive reaction. Feng Lin looked down at Jiu Juo, who was wearing a black and red sportswear and had a cute and childish little face. If you don't know, you might think he is a junior high school student. But this is a real university campus. I heard that you are Tang Qianqian's boyfriend. Jiu Juo asked curiously. Who said that? Feng Lin frowned immediately. He had just arrived at the class and had not interacted with Tang Qianqian in the class. Everyone is talking about it. Several people saw Tang Qianqian riding a bike to bring you to school this morning. Jiu Juo paused and said calmly, I advise you to break up with her immediately, otherwise I will report it. Feng Lin put his hands in his trouser pockets and asked doubtfully, let's not talk about whether we are boyfriend and girlfriend. Does my relationship with her have anything to do with you? I don't like it, that's fine. I'll give you 1 day. I'll keep my word. Jiu Juo walked towards a Maserati on the side of the road. A tall man in a suit got out of the driver's seat and took the initiative to open the passenger door for her. Damn it, you're quite arrogant. Feng Lin muttered. The Maserati had just left, and Xu Ruoying's Mercedes arrived soon after. She opened the passenger window and said to Feng Lin, get in the car. Feng Lin nodded and sat in the passenger seat. Today, Xu Ruoying wore a black sportswear with her hair in a neat ponytail, revealing her extremely delicate and cool face. Xu Ruoying glanced at Feng Lin, started the car, turned around and left. He's the type who'll have trouble finding you. Feng Lin supported his cheek with one hand and observed Xu Ruoying inside through the car window. I roughly guessed it, but don't worry, I'll just say a few words. Xu Ruoying didn't know the details, but she knew that what her parents feared most was revenge from the Song family. This time she went there, she was ready to make things clear. Soon, the two stopped at a high-end hotel. They walked towards the hotel door together, and a male waiter in uniform came over with a smile. Excuse me, is this Miss Xu Ruoying and Mr. Feng Lin? That's right. Xu Ruoying nodded slightly. Please follow me, both of you. The male waiter led the way. They came to the elevator and arrived at the 15th floor. This is a very high-end private room. The waiter opened the silver door and motioned Feng Lin and Xu Ruoying to go in. Feng Lin and Xu Ruoying looked at each other and walked in together. Whether it's the floor or the ceiling, everything is full of luxury. There is a small rockery in the middle of the dining table. The surroundings are decorated very gorgeously, and it is hard to imagine that this is just a place to eat. There are already some cold dishes on the table. Song Keming was sitting here alone, looking at his cell phone. When he saw Feng Lin and Xu Ruoying coming in, he stood up with a smile and said, "Please take a seat, I'll tell them to serve the wine and food right away." "Mr. Song, there's no need to bother. I came here just to tell you one thing. Sit down and talk while you eat. I asked you to come this time because I also want to say something." Song Keming interrupted Xu Ruoying with an oppressive tone in his voice. Feng Lin smiled and put his hand on Xu Ruoying's shoulder. "Sit down, it seems like he won't be able to finish talking about his affairs in a short while." Xu Ruoying hesitated for a moment, but finally nodded. Song Keming's lips curled up slightly, and he pressed the intercom on the wall. "You can serve the wine and food." Compared to Xu Ruoying's nervousness, Feng Lin was much more relaxed. With him around, Song Keming would never hurt Xu Ruoying at all. After a while, some very expensive dishes were placed on the table by the waiter. Finally, 2 bottles of red wine were served. "Come on, fill it up first. This is 1982 Lafite, which most people can't afford." Song Keming stood up with a smile. "No need, Mr. Song, we drove here and can't drink." Xu Ruoying flatly refused. After all, she was the general manager and had eaten out many meals for the sake of contracts. She would always refuse like this. As a woman, it is necessary to be cautious. "I can drink, Mr. Song, give me some." Feng Lin raised his glass with a smile. Song Keming's expression changed. "Damn, I didn't think of this." His purpose this time was to make Xu Ruoying and Feng Lin faint. He plays with Xu Ruoying. Find another woman to act with Feng Lin, and then be caught by the man and exposed by reporters. Simply letting Feng Lin faint, Xu Ruoying would definitely help him back. He can't use force against Xu Ruoying. In this case, it is based on Xu Ruoying's character. She will definitely call the police. But it was different when Xu Ruoying fainted. After the incident, he also said that he had fainted and didn't know anything yet. Pinchuk. Maybe he could bite back and say that Xu Ruoying took the initiative. Har har. "It's easy, I'll ask them to prepare coke." Song Keming stood up and walked outside. "You two, please wait a moment." Seeing him leaving, Feng Lin picked up a bottle of Lafite. Xu Ruoying patted Feng Lin's hand and glared at him. "Put it down. It's his treat anyway." Feng Lin chuckled, opened the red wine and poured some into his own glass. He took a sip and immediately spat it out on the ground. "What's wrong?" Xu Ruoying asked. "There was a drug in it, so I knew his motives were not pure." Feng Lin put the wine glass on the table. "Who are you trying to fool? If you can tell by just tasting it, who would fall for it?" Xu Ruoying curled her lips. "So, if the food can be notified through the conversation device, why does Coke have to go out in person?" Feng Lin asked calmly. Xu Ruoying was speechless for a moment. Could it be that what Feng Lin said was true? If this is true, one can imagine what Song Keming will do this time. Har har. Sorry for the long wait. Just then, Song Keming walked in with a large bottle of Coke in his hand. "The food and drinks are paid in advance, I went downstairs to buy a bottle." He opened the lid and filled Xu Ruoying's glass. "Come on. Mr. Song, women drink Coke, and we men naturally drink alcohol." Feng Lin opened the red wine and filled Song Keming's glass. See how he avoids taking the drug. It can't be like those mindless plots on TV. Pour the wine on the ground and the other side will be blind and unable to see. Chapter 24. According to the plan, "Mr. Song, let's drink first." Feng Lin picked up the wine glass and smiled at Song Keming. Song Keming stood up with a smile on his face and looked at Xu Ruoying beside him. "Xiaoying, everyone come together." Xu Ruoying did not take the wine glass, but looked at Feng Lin first. If Feng Lin hadn't reminded her, she would have really been ready to drink the Coke. But now, she was a little unsure. Feng Lin picked up the Coke with a smile and handed it to Xu Ruoying. "Drink." Xu Ruoying took the wine glass. She still didn't know Feng Lin's intention. Didn't he say there was a sleeping pill? Why drink it yourself? But the moment Feng Lin let go of the wine glass, Xu Ruoying discovered that a small hole appeared in the place covered by Feng Lin's thumb. Coke was leaking out of it. Xu Ruoying immediately blocked it with her thumb. She looked at Feng Lin in surprise, not knowing how he did it. She was wearing a black sportswear today, and it was the right outfit for her. The collar could flow smoothly into her cuffs through the small hole, and outsiders could not miss it. After all, coke can't be seen on black clothes. Come on. Cheers. Feng Lin raised his glass again. This time, Xu Ruoyin also came along. Seeing this, Song Keming smiled and raised his glass. Feng Lin drank the red wine in the glass in one gulp. As for Xu Ruoyin, she took the opportunity to loosen the small hole, put her red lips against the cup, and pretended to drink. In fact, all the coke flowed down his sleeves. Song Keming saw Feng Lin drink the wine in one gulp. As for Xu Ruoyin, the coke in her glass was also decreasing. He was overjoyed, so he took a big sip and put the cup down. Suddenly, he coughed lightly and immediately took out a thick black handkerchief and covered his mouth. Seeing this, Feng Lin understood that he had not swallowed it at all. While covering your mouth with a handkerchief, spit out all the wine and let the handkerchief absorb it. After finishing, Song Keming threw the handkerchief on the ground and asked with a smile, "Xiaoyin, tell me your story first." "Good." Xu Ruoyin took a tissue from the side and wiped her hands under the table. "Mr. Song, I like Feng Lin very much, and it's impossible for you and me to be together." Song Keming's eyes gradually narrowed, but he still smiled and nodded, "I understand. Thank you for your understanding, and please let our family go. This is between you and me, and has nothing to do with my parents," Xu Ruoyin said with a serious expression. "Har har. I'm not that kind of person, but I do feel a little sad." Song Keming opened another bottle of red wine and blew half of it directly into his mouth. Seeing this, Feng Lin had already guessed it. There must be no drugs in the second bottle. He did this so that Xu Ruoyin and Feng Lin could see that he was also drunk. Later, when he did something wrong to Xu Ruoyin, he had a reason. "Feng Lin. Come. Keep drinking." Song Keming placed the bottle of wine containing the drug in front of Feng Lin and shook his body deliberately. Feng Lin couldn't help but laugh out loud. This kid was really good at playing. Now, he already felt dizzy. Close your eyes, mobilize the strength in your body, and easily suppress the drug. This small dose is completely useless for Feng Lin, who majored in medicine. Even if the dosage is increased 10 times, Feng Lin can ensure that he stays awake for the next half hour by stimulating the acupoints. Half an hour was enough for him to find a safe place and have a good sleep. "Come on. Mr. Song. Drink. We are all men, I understand." Feng Lin raised the bottle, took another sip, and then fell on the table with a plop. He was still mumbling to himself, "Drink. Everyone." Seeing this, Xu Ruoyin was a little at a loss. But Feng Lin's hand patted Xu Ruoyin's leg twice under the table. Xu Ruoyin understood what he meant and pretended to be dizzy and fell down. In order to destroy any traces, she knocked the wine glass to the ground and broke it into pieces. Seeing this, Song Keming's mouth corners slightly raised. It worked. "Xiaoyin? Feng Lin," he called softly. Xu Ruoyin didn't react at all. But Feng Lin muttered, "Come on. Keep drinking." Song Keming was not surprised. Men have stronger resistance than women. What's more, he didn't give that much medicine. "Har har, you little bastard, you still want to fight me?" Song Keming smiled disdainfully. When Xu Ruoyin heard this, her disgust for Song Keming reached its peak. It seems that what Feng Lin said is true. Song Keming took out his cell phone and made a call. "You guys come up first. According to the plan, send Xu Ruoyin and I to room 888, and Feng Lin to room 788. After saying that, he opened WeChat and sent a text message to the woman he found. "Come, drink." At this time, Feng Lin climbed up again in a daze, holding the bottle of wine in his hand. Song Keming was startled and thought Feng Lin had woken up. After careful observation, I noticed that Feng Lin was not awake at all, he was probably just drunk. This is normal. We can't let Feng Lin fall into a deep sleep. In this way, even if Feng Lin was photographed by reporters, he did nothing and it wouldn't cause any sensation. What he wanted to do was to put Feng Lin into a state of half asleep and half awake. When the woman he finds takes the initiative, he will cooperate subconsciously. This is the only way to achieve the greatest effect. "Mr. Song. Keep drinking." Feng Lin hesitated again. Song Keming replied with a faint smile, "Come, drink." Suddenly, Feng Lin stood up, grabbed the back of Song Keming's head, and poured half a bottle of drugged wine in his hand into his mouth. "Drink, Mr. Song, drink too." Feng Lin fell on the table again with a thud. "Ahem. Damn, you." "Oh." Song Keming retched violently, but still drank a lot. If it wasn't for the purpose of ruining Feng Lin's reputation in the future, he would have wanted to destroy this guy now. "No. What if I faint too? Then I won't be able to do anything, right?" Song Keming couldn't let himself suffer a loss, so he immediately came to Xu Ruoying and grabbed her clothes. "Eat whatever you can while you're still healthy. Brush." Feng Lin pierced the back of his neck with a silver needle. Song Keming fell down on the spot. Feng Lin supported him, put him in his seat, and asked him to lie down. "Luckily you stopped me in time, otherwise I would have smashed a bottle on his face." Xu Ruoying now wishes Song Keming were dead. She was also feeling lucky that Zhu Ziying had taken her to follow Feng Lin, so that she knew what kind of person Song Keming was. Xu Ruoying couldn't even imagine what would happen if she married him. Feng Lin took out the mobile phone from his pocket and unlocked the fingerprint with his fingers. When he saw the WeChat message, his eyes turned cold. What a scumbag. I searched his pockets again and found a transparent bottle with small blue pills inside. Oh shit. Feng Lin cursed inwardly, what a disgrace to a man. He pinched Song Keming's mouth open and stuffed all the pills into his mouth. What did you feed him? Xu Ruoying asked hurriedly, although she hated Song Keming. But if someone dies, the loss will outweigh the gain. Feng Lin waved his hand and said, "You won't die. I took sildenafil." "What is that?" Xu Ruoying asked innocently. Feng Lin smiled and replied, "This medicine also has another name, Viagra." Chapter 25, the first of the three golden flowers. After hearing this, Xu Ruoying's face suddenly turned red. No matter how naive she was, she knew what this thing was. She was very glad. If Feng Lin hadn't followed her, she really didn't know what would have happened. Xu Ruoying couldn't help but look at Feng Lin a few more times. This man is really good, and now he has one more advantage. That is feeling safe. At this moment, Feng Lin returned to his seat and whispered, "Lie down." Xu Ruoying nodded and put her face on the table again. "Mr. Song, we're coming in." The door was pushed open and three waiters walked in. They noticed that Song Keming had also fallen down. Although they were a little confused, they did not dare to ask. The waiters in this kind of big hotel have rules that they are not allowed to ask about the guests' private affairs. What's more, this hotel was originally owned by the Song family. Anyway, Song Keming has already given the task, and they just have to follow it. The three of them supported Feng Lin and others and walked into the elevator. They first stopped at the 8th floor, where Song Keming and Xu Ruoying were taken away by two people. Feng Lin was taken to a room on the 7th floor by the remaining waiters. After putting Feng Lin on the Simmons mattress, the waiter left. Feng Lin stood up and went to the window at the back. I found that there was a wasteland behind the hotel. So he went to the window, easily jumped onto the air conditioner outside, and then grabbed the window on the upper floor. Through the glass, he found that the waiter here had also left. Song Keming was lying on the bed, while Xu Ruoying was walking back and forth with an anxious look on her face. Feng Lin knocked on the window several times. Hearing the sound, Xu Ruoying hurried over, opened the window, and shouted angrily, "Are you crazy? What if you fall down? I was a soldier." Not to mention the 7th and 8th floors, even the 27th and 28th floors were like a piece of cake. Feng Lin jumped into the room casually. "What should we do?" Xu Ruoying was a little at a loss. This was the first time she had encountered such a thing. "Don't worry, leave everything to me." Feng Lin carried Song Keming on his back and jumped out of the window to leave. "Be careful." Xu Ruoying followed to the window and found that Feng Lin had already entered the window on the next floor. Feng Lin put Song Keming on the bed in his room, took off his pillowcase and put it on his head. He leaned against the window, came to the 8th floor, jumped into the room, and turned his back to Xu Ruoying. "Come up, I'll carry you." Xu Ruoying hesitated for a moment, but still lay down and hugged Feng Lin's neck. "You're so heavy." Feng Lin shook his body slightly and said with a smile, "You are the one who is heavy. I only weigh 100 pounds. Xu Ruoying said angrily. "Really? I don't believe it." Feng Lin smiled and shook his head. With Xu Ruoying's height and figure, if she weighed only 100 pounds, she would be just skin and bones. Not coordinated at all. Put me down. Don't carry me if you think I'm too heavy. Xu Ruoying strangled Feng Lin's neck. She indeed weighed over 100 pounds. But a woman's limit is 100 kilograms. It's a matter of dignity and she will never say more. Just kidding, those few pounds you gained are all in the right places. Others can't wait to envy you. Feng Lin stepped on the window, grabbed the edge of the window, and fell down layer by layer. It fell to the ground in the blink of an eye. Xu Ruoying looked up and was shocked. Feng Lin's arms were so strong. Wait, I have something else to do. Feng Lin grabbed the window again, climbed up floor by floor, and jumped into the 7th floor. He turned on his cell phone and the person on it said that he had already boarded the elevator. Feng Lin pulled out a silver needle from his belt and stabbed it into Song Keming. Song Keming, who was originally fast asleep, gradually began to react. Feng Lin stood outside the room, waiting quietly. Soon, 2 people came out of the elevator. One of them was a woman weighing over 300 pounds, her body was full of fat, and her face looked as rough as a man's. Next to her was a woman with dyed blonde hair and average looks. However, as a doctor, Feng Lin could clearly see that her face was not original. Are you here to look for Feng Lin? Feng Lin walked over and asked. Yes, you should be Mr. Song's man, right? You can call me Mother Wang. The 300-pound woman grabbed Feng Lin's arm with a smile on her face and said, Handsome boy, I have a lot of beauties here. I'll give you a business card. Feng Lin glanced at the woman, thought for a moment, and didn't say anything. Xiao Li, go in. Everything will follow the previous arrangements. Mother Wang said to the woman beside her. Wait a moment. Feng Lin reached out to stop the young woman. Auntie, young Master Song specifically told me to give Feng Lin an unforgettable experience, and I don't think Xiao Li is suitable. Har har. You have high requirements, handsome boy. But I have plenty of beauties here. Since you are Mr. Song's man, I will find another one for you. No, I think Auntie is good. Feng Lin smiled at Mother Wang. Xiao Li next to him was stunned. What kind of aesthetic taste does this man have? This thing weighs more than 300 pounds. I'm not afraid of it killing someone by sitting on it. Cluck, cluck, cluck. Mother Wang covered her mouth and laughed. Hey. For the sake of Mr. Song, I, the leader of the 3 golden flowers in Jiang City, will return to the arena. I knew that Auntie was not an ordinary person. Feng Lin gave a thumbs up. It was hidden so deeply, but you found it. These young girls know nothing. The real technology still depends on us old people. Mother Wang patted her chest confidently towards Feng Lin. Auntie, you should know what will happen next, right? Feng Lin asked. I know. Young Master Song has already agreed that I will be blurred during the filming. Mother Wang smiled at Feng Lin and said, she was already a little impatient. There is something on Feng Lin's head now. Remember not to open it. Let the man who caught the stolen goods open it himself. This will make the show more effective. Feng Lin said with a smile. As expected of Master Song, you are really smart. After saying this, Mother Wang walked into the room. Feng Lin walked up the stairs, came to the 6th floor, then jumped out of the window and landed on the ground little by little. What were you doing? Xu Ruoying asked puzzledly. Nothing, I did a good thing. Feng Lin grabbed Xu Ruoying's hand and left. At the same time, Mother Wang came to Song Keming and nodded with a smile. This is a good figure. Song Keming felt dizzy and couldn't open his eyes at all, but his body still felt the same. I remember he and Xu Ruoying were in the same room. It goes without saying who the people around him are. You little rascal, so proactive. Song Keming felt like his throat was about to smoke and his voice was extremely hoarse, but he still tried his best to respond to the other party. At the same time, the elevator door opened and 3 people walked in. A female reporter held a microphone and another middle-aged man carried a camera. There was also a young man at the front. The man was complaining to the camera, I work so hard for my girlfriend and give her all my 3,000 yuan salary every month. I didn't expect her to treat me like this. Having said that, the man did not forget to wipe away his tears. Dear viewers, we are broadcasting this live for you. We have obtained the room key from their hotel. Let's go and see what they are doing. The female host said to the camera with a serious expression. The three of them came out together and walked to the door of room 788. The young man took a deep breath, opened the door, and walked in with the two people behind him. I saw the scene in front of me at a glance. The camera immediately turned to the two people over there. Everyone was dumbfounded. Especially this young man, he's looking for a tank for me. Sure enough, money is not that easy to make. Honey, why are you here? Stop filming. Mother Wang knew about Song Keming, and everything went according to the script. The young man felt like vomiting, but after all, he had received the money, so he walked over and said, "You shameless man, are you worthy of me? Let everyone see the true face of this stinky man." Chapter 26: A Big Drama. The young man tried to push Mother Wang out, but her body, weighing more than 300 pounds, was like a rock and could not be pushed at all. It was Mother Wang herself who cried out, "Ouch," and fell to the side. "Come and see. Let everyone see who this shameless and stinky man is." The young man pulled off the pillowcase, revealing Song Keming's red face. His face was covered in sweat because he had taken too many medicines. "Mr. Song? It's you?" This man was stunned. "No way, you are Mr. Song." Mother Wang next to her was so frightened that she almost jumped up. Song Keming suddenly rubbed his eyes and said with a lewd smile, "Hate it, where have you been? Why don't you come?" After saying that, he opened his eyes and saw everything in front of him. He didn't react for a moment and stood there in a daze. "There is no shuruoing, this is fucking Mother Wang. Looking at myself again, I just said Song Keming felt the blood rushing to his heart, his brain went blank, his heart trembled, he spat out a mouthful of blood, and fell down. Live broadcasts always have a delay. Song Fan was sitting in the teacher's office at school at the moment. According to usual time, he would have gone home long ago. Today, in order to let everyone appreciate Feng Lin's performance, I stayed to share it with other teachers. By then, I won't have to tell Lan Ru at all. Other teachers will naturally say it. "Oh, this woman is so disgusting. I can't stand it. She doesn't work, spends men's money, and betrays her family." A female teacher looked at the computer in front of Song Fan with anger on her face. In addition to her, 5 or 6 teachers in the office were standing behind and watching. "This man is too honest. If I were that man, I would have divorced him long ago. Hurry up and let me see how beautiful this woman is. She can make a man pay so much for her." The male teachers nearby were also filled with indignation. "This man is such a coward." Just then, the door opened and the camera followed the man and the reporter. The teachers here held their breath and stared at the screen until a 300-pound woman and a man appeared. "Fuck. This taste. It's an eyesore. Is there something wrong with this man's brain? He actually likes this kind of woman. No censorship. Live broadcast." When Song Fan saw this, he almost laughed out loud. His younger brother was really good at playing. "I found such a woman for Feng Lin. This is intended to leave Feng Lin with a lifelong psychological shadow. Look, this man went to take off the pillowcase." A male teacher pointed at the screen. Song Fan couldn't hide his smile at all. "Come on Feng Lin, show your true colors." At this moment, Song Keming's face appeared on the screen. Seeing this, Song Fan's smile froze and he rubbed his eyes, thinking he had seen it wrong. "But, it's him? That's right. He is his biological brother." He also looked like he was enjoying it and shouted, "Disgusting," in a very disgusting tone. Pinshuk. Click. Song Fan's brain didn't have time to react. When he recovered and was about to turn off the computer, the screen disappeared automatically. The TV station must have discovered it. Of course, the teachers around knew Song Keming. That's Song Fan's younger brother, and is also a typical rich second generation. I didn't expect the other person's taste was so strong. Although the picture is short, in today's internet age, the speed of transmission is astonishingly fast. In the blink of an eye, Jiang City's local life channel became a local hot topic. Then, all the forums and bulletin boards in Jiang City were about this matter. Have you heard about it? Song Keming from the Song family in Jiang City actually had a great time with a woman weighing over 300 pounds. Rich people like this all have strange fetishes. Maybe ordinary women are tired of playing with them. The original video has been blocked, but I have the downloaded video here. Please give me the video. May the good man above live in peace and happiness for the rest of his life. By lending me this, good people will have a peaceful life. Not only on the internet, this matter quickly spread to the upper class of Jiang City. Originally, this incident was surprising, and Song Keming was a member of one of the four major families. The head of the Song family, Song Jingdao, watched the report on TV and kicked the TV to pieces. This useless thing. Bring him here immediately, immediately. Song Jingdao is not a fool. He knows the personalities of his two sons very well. Song Keming was obviously set up. His action could easily affect the Song family's reputation and could eventually lead to a sharp drop in the Song family's stock market. Xu family. Xu Chuan and Wang Qin also watched the video in confusion. It turns out that Song Keming likes very older women? Suddenly, Xu Chuan's face turned pale. He stared at Wang Qin and said, You should stay away from him from now on. Xu Chuan. What the hell do you mean? Song Keming pretends to like Xiaoyin, perhaps to get closer to you. Xu Chuan grabbed Wang Qin's arm and said, He must have been set up, but looking at his expression, he obviously likes that fat guy. At the same time, Xu Ruoying took Feng Lin to her villa area. Just after parking in front of her villa, Zhu Ziying sent a short video to Xu Ruoying on WeChat. Xu Ruo opened the video as usual, and immediately heard Mother Wang's excited voice. Feng Lin turned around and scolded with a smile, Don't you have any shame, woman? Watching that kind of video in front of me. Par. I didn't order it carefully. Xu Ruoying's pretty face was burning with anger, she felt so embarrassed. She immediately sent a voice message to Zhu Ziying, Are you bored? You're already 100 years old, and you're still playing this kind of prank. Then she pretended to be cool and got out of the car, standing outside the passenger seat, fearing that Feng Lin would run to Lan Ru's house again. Feng Lin had no intention of leaving. His father specifically asked him to teach Xu Ruoying a few moves. After seeing what Song Keming did today, it is indeed necessary to let Xu Ruoying be able to protect herself as soon as possible. Otherwise it is too easy to suffer losses. Xu Ruoying glanced at her phone again. Zhu Ziying sent a string of texts, The person in the video is Song Keming. Seeing this, Xu Ruoying frowned, then muted her phone and turned on the video again. After seeing all this, Xu Ruoying took a deep breath and handed the phone to Feng Lin, Did you do this? Feng Lin had always been with Xu Ruoying and did not have first-hand information. After watching the video, he smiled and shook his head, saying that the title of the first of the 3 golden flowers was not undeserved. What are you laughing at? If Song Keming is not a fool, he will know that we did it, and he will definitely take revenge with all his might. Xu Ruoying said solemnly that by then, Feng Lin's life might be in danger. This is his cell phone. Feng Lin opened Song Keming's chat history and handed it to Xu Ruoying. Xu Ruoying read it carefully and broke out in a cold sweat. I see. If it hadn't been planned in advance, the male lead this time would have been Feng Lin. Song Keming intended to make Feng Lin unable to hold his head up for the rest of his life. Feng Lin, this poor boy, may not be able to find a job in the future because of this incident. Anyway, Song Keming's family is rich, so when something like this happens, he can just eat and drink as usual, it won't have any impact. Seal the forest. Xu Ruoying grabbed Feng Lin's shoulders. She felt that she was the one who dragged Feng Lin into this situation. I won't divorce you. Don't worry. You will never starve as long as I feed you. Why do your words sound a bit heavy? Feng Lin asked with a smile. That's because you don't know the Song family's capabilities. This incident may cause Song Jingdao to personally attack us. The Xu family should be in tatters. As Xu Ruoying was speaking, she noticed her cell phone ringing, and the caller was Xu Chuan. She breathed a sigh of relief, perhaps disaster was coming to the Xu family. The Zhu family will definitely not fight with the Song family, one of the 4 major families, because of the Xu family. No one can save the Xu family. Xu Ruoying needs to think of a way out. Anyway, she has the ability and can still support a man.